Hey there, folks. How we doing? Just going to go live, talk about this marine tornado warning that was issued for Lake Erie. Many got it on their phones, assuming that it was for land, but it's actually for Lake Erie because there was basically a really strong waterspout signature. This was actually tornado warned back in the kind of the Cleveland area, and then as it moved north, it kind of looked like it was weakening on radar, but then all of a sudden it strengthened quite dramatically. So we're still following that over Lake Erie at the moment. There are some storms that are moving into Essex County that look like they could have some fairly strong wind gusts in there. But yeah, I'm just checking some data here in the background. Yeah, we're getting some reports in. The storms look relatively smooth on the bottom. The environment here is not really actually that strong, which is interesting to us. So we're thinking like, should we go live? Should we not? We're kind of humming and hawing about it. I was yawning for a while because it looked pretty boring. But then obviously, wild things can happen, and the storm did strengthen quite a bit. So let's jump over to Instant Weather Pro, and I will show you what we're talking about. So this area over here, these really bright values that are over Lake Erie, Western Lake Erie at the moment, tracking, and these storms are tracking actually kind of to the northwest. So this is just about to head near Pelee Island, and then it's going to head basically up into kind of Kingsville area of Essex County. If you live anywhere else in Ontario right now, you're fine. I want to put that out there. I mean, you might not be fine for other reasons, but for the fact that if you're worried about the storms that are moving in right now, you're fine. Like right now, this is kind of the only area where we think maybe there's a hint of some potential, which is basically down here in deep southwestern Ontario, Essex County. If you're from anywhere else, if you don't live anywhere near Leamington or Kingsville or Essex County or Wheatley or maybe Chatham-Kent as more storms move in. So we do have more storms developing, as you can see, and they will kind of track into deep southwestern Ontario. Environment Canada has a severe thunderstorm watch all the way up to Sarnia, down through Chatham, Kent, and in Essex County. They also have a severe thunderstorm warning, which now includes the Chatham-Kent area, so Essex County and Chatham-Kent. And again, there is a tornado warning, but it's only for the water at this point in time. It's called a marine tornado warning. So we send those out to through our app, and we actually put in brackets on water. So to clarify what that means is they're warning the water. They're not warning the land yet. But the polygon that Environment Canada has does go onto the land. So, I mean, it stretches kind of the shoreline, and basically we use that to send out the notification. And then, again, many people likely got Alert Ready as well, too, like that Amber Alert type alarm to their phone who are in this area. But remember, we're talking about the water right now, so it's the storm in question is still not at the actual land at this point in time. We're still tracking it. There are some strong wind values back there, and there has been some signs of rotation. When they issued the tornado warning, the thing got really strong really quick with very, very sharp couplet, but then it just kind of evaporated on the next frame. And that's probably because the overall environment here is not that strong. We're not seeing high supercell values. We're not seeing high tornado indices at all. We're basically seeing probably elevated storms. From some of the photos we're seeing, it looks like a lot of the storms have a very smooth base to them. They're not really sharp and jagged and look grumpy and angry. They're really kind of smooth. So it is possible, based on the convective inhibition here, that these storms will probably remain relatively elevated. But there is some risk for damaging wind gusts, just a bit, especially close to the shorelines here. And then if for some reason one of these kind of couplets like this right here over Lake Erie decide to hold strong, then we could see just a brief touchdown as they head towards shore. But, like a long track tornado here just doesn't seem likely with the environment. If anything, it would be extremely brief. It would be like water spout comes onto the beach, heads up the road a little bit, then lifts. So I think that's probably what we would see if we see a touchdown. I'm still quite doubtful that we're going to see a touchdown. Again, stranger things have happened. This is just my intuition. But I think probably some damaging wind gusts are possible, maybe in the Leamington area-ish, maybe to the south, kind of the Point Pelee area, Pelee Island looks fine for now at this point in time. This really strong storm was actually moving. It was moving close to Pelee Island, and then it kind of evaporated a bit. That's not the correct term for it, but it kind of all of a sudden, we were like really excited about it in our team chat, and then we're like, and it's gone. That happens, especially in this type of environment. So, yeah, it's hard to say if this is really going to get going, quote unquote, if we're really going to see anything significant here. Mainly, we're actually coming to the live stream to kind of be like, things aren't really that strong. It's kind of like the other night when we had to put Barry to bed. Everyone was wondering why there's a tornado warning in Barry, and it actually wasn't for Barry, which was the frustrating part, is that the tornado warning was referring to a storm way down in Bradford, which is an entirely different alert area. But everyone in Barry, that means everyone all the way up to like Collingwood probably was getting a tornado warning. And that's a bit ridiculous because the risk was so far south and so isolated. And it was another one of these situations where it looked kind of strong for a frame or two, and then it kind of fell apart. So yeah, it was a lot of putting Barry to bed at the end of the last live stream. Mind you, that was a pretty long stream. We streamed for 10 hours that day. There was definitely some dangerous storms that day. The downburst, very likely downburst that went through basically Midhurst all the way up to areas west of Orillia. That thing was a beast. If you were watching the live stream, like when my power went out, it was because of that storm. That storm was just so strong, and it was putting so much strain on the grid by knocking down hydro poles that we had a little power flash here, even in Barrie, and we were quite far south from that storm. So that storm was a beast. There were some other storms that looked quite strong. There was some obviously very large hail. We were live for 10 hours in total. But the end of the stream was similar to this, where we're like, meh, we'll see. Again, some of these storms that are over Lake Erie right now, they look really strong over Lake Erie. But will they hold strong as they come onto shore? Again, I think there was a little bit of a damage and wind risk. We could see some trees down. We could see a little bit of flying debris. But it's hard. I'm doubtful that we're going to see anything tornadic on the surface. But we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Reach landfall is what I'm saying. So I'm doubtful, but we'll find out. Let's head in the comments and say hi to everyone. See how everyone is doing. Let's see here. Let me just scroll down. Yes, says winds are getting stronger in Chatham. That's good to know. That's good to know. So maybe we do have some surface interaction. And it is possible that there could be, again, some surface interaction. The storms could affect the surface. Therefore, we could see some damaging wind gusts. We'll see. Caitlin says, why does it not show in the app that you're live? We actually just wanted to go live really quick. And then I think Brennan is working on sending out the notification right now. So, so he's working on that. But if obviously you're on YouTube, so you got notified on YouTube that we are live, which is a great way to do it. We also did go live on Facebook just because there is a tornado warning in place. A lot of people are probably like, what's happening? CPT says, what about Amherstburg? Yeah, maybe some damaging wind gusts. It's hard to say for sure. Definitely torrential rain, maybe some small hail, gusty winds, lightning. Those things are happening pretty much for sure for a large swath of southwestern Ontario. But will it reach severe criteria is the question. And we're going to have to see. Amanda Fisher says, hello, thank you for keeping us updated. You're very welcome. Mike says it's raining in LaSalle. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. Tilbury's looking very windy. A lot of folks are saying very windy. Is there a chance for a tornado in LaSalle? There's a non-zero chance of a tornado in Essex County. The overall environment, lots of inhibition. The machine learning percentages are looking very low. Everything's looking low, but things still got more interesting than I thought they were going to get. The models were like looking pretty boring. Everything's looking pretty boring. But again, weather changes very quickly. So we'll have to see how. I'm actually going to look at some data in the background right now just to see if there's any updates from. Looks like storm-wise, they will continue to push into southwestern Ontario, all the way up through London and all the way. Actually, it looks like they're all going all the way into central Ontario, Niagara, the GTA. This is in the morning hours as well too. So, by overnight, by midnight, by 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., a lot of folks are going to be able to see some rain from this one, and probably quite a bit of lightning as well too, especially in the deep southwest. But will it do anything besides that? The models look absolutely boring. They look really boring. I'm quite shocked that we even got to this stage where we're going live and there's a marine tornado warning. So Yeah, so just from my perspective, again, wild things can happen, stranger things have happened. Let's be straight here. In 2013, there was a tornado that happened in 0 Celsius weather in Eastern Ontario. It was 0 Celsius. Things are falling around here because I'm banging on my desk. It was literally 0 Celsius. It was an EF1 tornado. They said there was a burst of snowfall. The snowfall cleared. Then there was a funnel cloud. It took out their concrete silo on their farm. The whole thing was cut in half. There was bricks everywhere. And then they got more snow. And so there was literally a snow NATO at 0 Celsius. So could something interesting happen here with the environment that the models aren't picking up on? Of course. Of course. We have way, way better of an environment than they did out in Eastern Ontario when it was freezing cold outside. We definitely have a better environment than that. But are we going to see anything significant? Again, I'm doubtful, but obviously we're live here just to double check and see what's going on. So, the one storm that's happening right now that's behind me, which you can see right here. So it's over Lake Erie at the moment. It's northwest of Cleveland. Machine learning has gone up to a 12% tornado risk on that particular cell. Everything else, 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm like looking at all the different cells, and they're all 0% tornado risk on those. But just this one particular cell. So it's like this one area that's northwest of Cleveland keeps getting interesting. It's actually this cell right here. You can see it right this one. So this is the cell. It kind of looks like a supercell. It's trying to head its way over to Essex County. But if it's anything like the previous stuff, very good chance it's going to weaken. And let's cross our fingers that does happen. Look at that interesting report. Tara Ann on Ontario Storm Reports on our Facebook group posted that photo. You can see on the far left side of the screen with some lightning and heavy waves hitting the rocks there. So yeah, let's see here. Kelso says 12% because storm relative velocity is a heck of a couplet. Yeah, let me double check on that. I think I've got go to SRV, and yeah, it's decent. It's decent. We'll see what happens with it. There's a TVS there. Oh yeah, it was stronger a few frames ago. I see. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, again, we're seeing this rotation northwest of Cleveland. Again, strong rotation northwest of Cleveland. We'll see what happens with this cell. It's trying to go a little bit more. Looks like it's trying to go a little bit more to the north now. So maybe up towards areas like Chatham-Kent-ish, but it's still quite a ways from landfall. And so we're going to continue to watch it just as it tracks over the water. We'll see how this does occur. Let me just go into the comments here. Do Chatham-Kent, says Christy. I just mentioned Chatham-Kent, yeah. I mean, this is heading that way, but it's again, it's far from landfall. Folks are asking about London, Ontario. I think London's fine. You might see some storms later. I don't think it's going to be that interesting just based on the environment alone. There's 0 supercell. There is like inhibition, strong inhibition, which typically means it shouldn't be interacting with the surface. There's a lot that's working against this being a tornado event. But stranger things have happened. Models aren't perfect. Let's see here. Barbara says we had a tornado warning in Leamington, but it seems it fizzled out. So to clarify, Leamington actually never had a tornado warning. Lake Erie had a tornado warning. And so Leamington receives that tornado warning, but Leamington proper was never under a tornado warning. The only tornado warning is actually for Lake Erie. But we send it out on our app. Like Leamington is on the shoreline, so the whole shoreline gets the notification. Because, I mean, when you're right on the water, you want to know if something's coming in that's tornadic, right? You want to know if there's a tornado warning over the water. There was actually a tornado warning over the water before Goderich got hit back in 2011. So before Goderich proper had a tornado warning, there was a marine tornado warning. And that's why we've added it to our app. Because we think it's really important for those who are close to the water. Because you probably want to know if there's a tornado warning over Lake Erie. I would want to know. I'm just saying. But it was actually never for Leamington. BEAU. I probably wish I knew how to pronounce that. I'm going to say I'm not even going to try. I'm going to get it wrong. So I said emergency alert for tornado in LaSalle. So the emergency alert, because you're close to it, it went out to probably most of Essex County. I would say probably most of Essex County got that tornado warning. But again, only a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Essex County. The tornado warning is for Lake Erie. So far. So far. We'll see what happens. Bennett asking about Wallsburg. Yeah, you might see some storms. I'm doubtful if they're going to be severe, but lightning and strong wind gusts and all that is very possible. Let's see here. Let's see. So many comments and questions are just flying now here. Close says my dad just got a severe thunderstorm watch in his area. Yeah, there's severe thunderstorm watches definitely going out. Holly said I received a tornado warning on my phone in St. Thomas. Exactly, because it's for. I'll show you that. You can see the giant red line. So this is the Western Lake Erie polygon from Environment Canada. So if you click on it, it'll say tornado warning, but we've added this just to really give clarification to it. We added on water in parentheses. So you know for a fact that it's not a land tornado warning. It is a water tornado warning. And because the polygon is so large, it goes all the way up to like St. Thomas, right? But really, they're talking about like this storm. They're not talking about St. Thomas area. They're kind of talking basically from Chatham, Kent over to Essex County, all depending on where this storm tracks. But it's a strong storm. And sometimes when you have strong storms, even when the environment is super duper weak, a strong storm can almost regenerate the environment in front of itself. It can just become this force that goes past where there's no CAPE. Oh, by the way, there's no CAPE. If anybody knows what CAPE is, convective available potential energy, there's like zero CAPE for Essex County, like none. When you go to mesoanalysis, it's just not there, which is why it's like this is a confusing situation where, again, we have a tornado warning for Lake Erie, and I 100% agree with Environment Canada for putting out the tornado warning for Lake Erie because it looked super, super duper strong for a few frames. They issued the tornado warning. It got weak again. And then now we have some re-strengthening again. So kind of in that same area over the water. You don't want to be in a boat right now on Lake Erie. I just say that. Cloud says, where are you guys getting these warnings? Question mark. Oh, so you might be thinking, I don't think most apps send out the marine tornado warning. Maybe they do now with Alert Ready. It's possible, but yeah, if you have our free app called Instant Weather, you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. Put the link at the bottom of the screen there or over there. Yeah, instantweatherapp.com. You can get it for Android or Apple. It is free. And then if you live within this polygon, so that would include only areas to the south. So Kingsville, Leamington, Colchester, Point Pelee, Wheatley, Coatsworth, Merlin, Dealtown, all the way up to, I believe, all the way up to St. Thomas. Yeah. And Port Stanley. Yeah. If you live within that area, within that polygon, we sent out a notification saying tornado warning on water. We made sure to clarify on water, not on land so far. Just want to make sure that is clear. I like to bring some clarity to the stuff because this stuff it can be confusing and frustrating. And you're like, do I go to the basement? Like, what's happening? So we like to bring clarity to the situation. Right now, there's no tornado risk for land yet. The storms are moving slowly but surely to the northwest-ish. Shannon says, so Windsor's good for now. Again, things can change, but for right now, Windsor's cool. I would be prepared for all those folks I just mentioned, kind of that area right along the Lake Huron shoreline. I would be prepared to take shelter with it. But right now, the storm that did cause Environment Canada to issue a tornado warning, it is still it is over water. And was this the regeneration of that initial storm, or is this a new cell that strengthened again? I think this might have been a new cell that strengthened again in that same corridor. But nevertheless, there is no rotation, no strong rotation at least over land right now. Not that I can see. I'm looking at every possible radar we've got, and I'm not seeing any strong rotation over land. So right now, the area of concern is basically this storm right here. So this storm is strong. It is tracking to the northwest. If it did make landfall, it might be around Wheatley-ish area, Coatsworth or so, possibly, which is very close to obviously Leamington as well too. So if it did make landfall, then it would probably be around that area. It's hard to say for sure, but I mean, there's some strong values in here. But the rotation itself is looking weaker on this cell at this point in time. This is from Cleveland, I believe I'm watching right now. Yeah, Cleveland radar. Yeah, and on storm relative velocity, it looks all right. It looks all right. We'll see. It's definitely one to watch. So we're watching this right now. Some high values in here. I mean, 123 kilometers an hour, 130 kilometers an hour in here, and that's not noise. These are real values. So potentially a water spout risk right here over the water, but look how far away that is from land. It's quite a distance. So we still have to watch how this storm progresses. This is the storm to watch. I don't think anything else is going to be just randomly strengthening over Essex County or anything like that. I have nothing that gives me that impression. There's nothing in the environment right now. No Cape. Nothing's giving me that impression. So, Thomas says Cornwall's supposed to thunder all day tomorrow. Actually, yeah, there is some severe risk in Eastern Ontario tomorrow. I think Brennan's probably working on that right now. But yeah, so there is some risk in Eastern Ontario. But for right now, Eastern Ontario is fine. Everybody else is fine. The only place that really has to pay attention is deep, deep southwestern Ontario. And right now, I would just be prepared. But again, there's no tornado warning for land. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for land, but there's no tornado warning for land at this point in time. So just to clarify, you're like, I got the alert ready like noise tornado warning on my phone. Yes, it was for the water, not land. I don't recommend swimming right now. Let's see here. James says, dark thunder and wind in Wallaceburg. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Margaret said, how do I send stars? I think you can only do it on Instant Weather Ontario. For some reason, it doesn't work on Ontario Stormwatch. Oh, Brendan just mentioned to me that I think we can make it work on Ontario Stormwatch, but I don't think I've enabled it yet. So I have to do that. But yeah, if you want to send us stars, we sincerely appreciate that. It's like a tip jar on Facebook, but you can do it at Instant Weather Ontario. It just doesn't seem to work on Ontario Stormwatch for some reason. But I think they have just asked us to add it. So I think we can add it. Karen said Leamington had a few funnel clouds over Lake Erie. Interesting. I could see that. And you might be able to you could potentially have seen early on that storm from afar, and you might have been able to see a funnel cloud with it. Because I would not be surprised when they issued the marine tornado warning. I would not be surprised if there wasn't a big tornadic water spout at that point in time, because it looked really good over the water. That was we're like, okay, we're going live. It's like as soon as we saw that, it's like, okay, it's go time. Even though the environment doesn't look very strong, again, you can still see something happen that's really strong. It can stay strong as it moves forward, even if it's going past where the environment should sustain strong weather. So Adam said funnel cloud in Barrie. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and say nope. I don't think so. I'm in Barrie right now. It's been a beautiful day. By the way, most people, beautiful day for sure. I don't know where you're getting that. There's literally no storms right now in Barrie. So hold on a sec. Let's go back to that comment. Literally, Adam Peters, can you please? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and delete your comment. I'm not gonna boot you from the page yet, but the fact that there's literally no storms, there's nothing in Barrie right now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that is a false report. So maybe you saw, like, sometimes you can see like a contrail that's like on the horizon and it kind of has like a funnel cloud look to it. So maybe that's what you meant. But yeah, Barrie's good right now, and we are good. He said, I'm playing, guy. Listen, guy. Saying that there's a funnel cloud in an area where there's not, and a funny false report, I'm not down with that playing so much, dude. So if that happens again, you're gone. Just want to put that out there. Yeah, don't do that, people. Please. Seriously. I'm playing. Okay, bud. Jeez. All right, let's see here. Rhonda going in it. Yeah, that's not funny. Yeah, that is not funny. He said, I was in the last tornado. That still doesn't give you the right to throw out false reports because you want to troll people. There's a lot of folks in our community with storm anxiety. A lot of folks, especially in Barrie, that have been through like an F4 in 1985, EF2 in 2021, and EF2 in 2014. Yeah, they're not going to find that funny, dude. So This guy's trying to get under my skin here. Okay. Anyways, by the way, you said you're in the last tornado. I'm glad you're safe, but yeah, please don't do that moving forward. Yeah, please do not. That goes for everybody, please. Please. Anywho, let's see here. Just going through the comments here. Some light thunder in St. Thomas, says Lauren. Is that right on top of you, or is that, I'm assuming that's over the water? Because I don't see any storms in St. Thomas right now. So I'm guessing that's over the water. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Gonna be one of those nights, is it? All right. I'm just gonna continue to watch radar here. Again, the storm that we are concerned with is not over land at the moment. It is way, way down here over Lake Erie. This is the storm we're concerned with. There is a marine tornado warning, so a tornado warning only for Lake Erie, not for anywhere else but the water. But you very well could have gotten the notification through our app. You could have gotten the alert ready, kind of Amber Alert type tornado warning. But to clarify, it is for the water. It is not for land yet. That could change. It looks like it's weakening. Yeah, the latest update, it looks like it's weakening here. So, by the way, big updates coming to Instant Weather Pro, which we're very excited about. In about 2 days, we're going to upgrade our US radars big time. So we'll have all those shorter intervals. So sometimes like the Detroit Airport radar, it's just 1 minute intervals. We'll have that. We'll have, when Cleveland and Buffalo and Detroit, when they go switch to like 3 minute or 2.5 or 3 minute intervals, we'll have those. And they'll be super, super fast loading, super. Oh, we're so excited. So excited. A lot of folks are saying give him the boot. Adam said, "I respect you and tell everyone to add you, not a troll. Sorry, brother. It's all good. I appreciate the apology. I hopefully you can appreciate why I got frustrated there, because yeah, that's not great. A lot of folks are saying to kick you from the page, but you apologized. I appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully that doesn't ever happen again. I'm sure it won't happen again for you, but it's this is this is a good learning experience for everybody. Let's take the silver lining here, is that everybody just saw what happened, and everybody can hopefully realize that it's saying that there's a funnel cloud when there's not a funnel cloud is not a good joke. So, anyways, thanks Adam for the apology. Sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, it's all good. These things happen. We all make mistakes. We're all human. So most of us are human, I think. Most of us. Commander Brantford said a lot of folks are on edge tonight. I'm sure. I mean, if you're in Essex County, if you're near Leamington-ish, I would, I'd be watching this. But again, the environment is garbage, and the storm has weakened even more. So I don't know. If it doesn't strengthen, I have a feeling that EC is going to drop that tornado warning. But we'll see. It could re-strengthen again. We'll see. But again, the tornado warning is only for the water. It's not for land. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for the land, and severe thunderstorm watch that extends all the way over to St. Thomas. But yeah, but I think so far we're good. Abby says, "What does the yellow and orange mean?" So I'm not sure if you're talking about the polygons or if you're talking about the actual radar data itself. But like red means very, very strong precipitation. Yellow means moderate precipitation. Green means lighter. Blue means even lighter. And then we get to purple. That's when you're talking about hail. And then on the right side of the screen here, we have wind. And so when you get these really kind of like bright values like this right here, so 107.28 kilometers an hour, as you can see straight above my head at the very top of the screen, 107.28 kilometers an hour. That is, again, this is over Lake Erie at the moment. And yeah, I have a feeling this is going to continue to weaken as it heads into our area, because we are dealing with zero CAPE. Yeah, it's gone down to that cell that was at once a 12% tornado risk from machine learning has gone down to a 4%. So it continues to weaken. Every other storm in the area is like 0% chance of tornado. So we don't never say 0. 0.1. Let's go with 0.1. Oh, there's some interesting comments. Okay, let's see here. There's a lot of them, folks. By the way, if I missed your comment, I am sorry, because there is so many comments. There is a lot of folks in the live stream right now, so there's a lot of comments to go through. So if I miss yours, my apologies. It says there's no real concentrated rotation wiser tornado warning. Canada needs to do it like NOAA because this warning is kind of pointless. Yeah, I mean, they're going to assess the situation. They're going to wait a few frames to see if it continues to weaken because it did weaken initially. Then it strengthened again, and now it's weakened again. So will it strengthen again? That's what I'm just assuming here, but this is probably what Environment Canada is doing. They're sitting there watching all the radar, saying, "Is it going to strengthen again or not?" And they're just sitting playing the waiting game right now. So they're not just like this. As soon as they get a frame of radar that says it's starting to weaken, they're not just going to drop the tornado warning because these things go in cycles. So it could strengthen again. It's possible. Nicholas says, "Can you check LaSalle?" LaSalle's fine. I mean, there is a storm there. It's at 1% severe risk, 1% wind risk, and 0% hail, 0% tornado. The storms that are in deep in southwestern Ontario at the moment are pretty weak. There could be some stronger winds in there, maybe 54 kilometers an hour. That's not severe. The storm that's moving into Wheatley right now, I mean, there's some 80-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts in there, so it could be pretty windy. And a lot of folks did say it was actually pretty windy. This is the cluster of storms here over Lake Erie, north of Cleveland, which is still quite a distance from the surface here, from land. Quite a difference from land. Quite a distance from landfall. So we'll have to watch and see what happens with that. Kimber says, "Can you please close the pic to the left so we can see your maps better by chance?" We like seeing the pictures on the left because then we get to see all the reports, what's coming in, by the way. Side note, if you're watching it on your phone, turn it to the side. It'll be much, much bigger. Even better is if you have YouTube on your television. If you have Rogers Ignite or you have Bell, whatever the Bell thing's called, I don't know, 5 TV or something. If you take your remote control and you press the little microphone button and you say YouTube instant weather, you'll be able to pull our live stream up on your TV, and then you can use your phone to message family members or friends. You can use it to check radar. You can use it to doom scroll, whatever you're into. You have all those options because the YouTube live stream is on the TV. So yeah, it's one way to go for sure. Let's see here. Nick says, "Can you show the velocities?" I'm showing them right now. These are the velocities from Cleveland. Some really strong winds in there, but they, again, I don't think they're going to hold. They might. I'm super doubtful. Shaylin says, "Can you check Wheatley?" Yeah, Wheatley's good. I mean, everybody's good right now. Unless you are in a boat in the middle of Lake Erie, you're pretty much good at the moment. That doesn't mean things can't change, but for right now, you're okay. Linda says, "Is the tornado going to hit Sarnia?" First off, right now, I don't think there is a tornado. I believe there was a tornadic waterspout earlier based on radar. I believe that did weaken, and then it may have strengthened again in touchdown, and then it may have weakened again because it's starting to weaken again. There are some really strong velocity signatures over Lake Erie right now, but I'm not seeing anything super tornadic. And so will the tornado that doesn't exist at the moment hit Sarnia? I'm doubtful. Pretty doubtful on that one. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a really strange risk. It's way stronger in the States, by the way. Everything is way stronger in the States right now. They are having quite a day right now. Yeah, and our thoughts are with all those affected. Very strong storms down there, but right now, it's only a tornado warning for Lake Erie, and I don't know how long that's going to last. We'll see. We'll see. But if this storm here, right here, if you can see these storms on the left-hand side of the radar here, if they weaken and continue to weaken as they track towards land, then I'm pretty darn sure that EC is going to drop the marine tornado warning on this one. They'll probably keep the severe thunderstorm warnings and watches for now as these storms move in, but we'll see what happens with that cluster. Okay, it has weakened again. On machine learning, it is down to 1% tornado risk over Lake Erie. 1%. The other 99% doesn't exist. It's only at 1% at this point in time. So, yeah, I am... Ooh, new update. I am not that optimistic that this will... Oh, but hey, here we go. Now starting to strengthen again. So you never know. 100 kilometers an hour. There's a little bit of a strengthening right here, a little pocket. The reflectivity, the rainfall itself is kind of a weird shape, but this could tighten up. It's possible. It's not too far from land now. Let's see here. Let's go back a couple frames. Yeah, you know what? Maybe if it hits, it might be kind of in the, how do you say this again? BLENHEIM. Someone schooled me on it before. That's why I'm not saying it, because I'm gonna get it wrong. But North Buxton, Merlin, Coatsworth, Port Alma. Yeah, those areas are probably where the stronger cell is going to hit, and there could be some damaging wind risk with that as it hits. So the severe thunderstorm warning makes sense from Environment Canada. On relative velocity, though, that rotation is pretty weak, but it looks quite interesting. Just from a wind perspective, it looks pretty interesting. So there could be a brief period of damaging winds with that cell. So we'll see here. Yeah, there's some strong winds too right now northeast of Leamington as well. Kind of near the Wheatley area, so that pocket that we saw going into Wheatley. So could be some strong winds in the Wheatley area at the moment. And again, we are watching this cluster that has been the strongest so far. It did spawn a tornado warning in the U.S. near Cleveland, and then Environment Canada issued a tornado warning for Lake Erie, and now we're just waiting for it to move towards. Oh, there we go. Hart says Blenheim. Oh yeah, I want to say like Heim, but it's Blenheim. Thank you, appreciate that. Every year we have to remind me. It happens every single year. Emma says, do you know if it will hit land? Oh, it's going to hit land. But by it, what are we referring to? Because I don't think it's producing a tornado at this point. I think at this point in time, it looks like maybe some damaging wind gusts, which are still dangerous. It can still knock down a tree, that type of thing. But yeah, so we could see some damaging wind gusts with this right now. And again, this is a constantly evolving situation. So it is possible that that this could strengthen up again, and we might have a tightening and maybe some rotation. So we'll see. This person needs to be banned pretty quickly. There we go. And they're gone. Perfect. I'm getting quick at that. Okay. Let's see here. Steven says, random dude on a cool computer. That's me. That's what it says on my business card, I believe. AYA says, we just got the emergency tornado take cover message on the phone in London. Maybe you're close enough to the marine alert to get it? Because the marine alert goes all the way to like St. Thomas. Even though it's for the water only. But it still covers St. Thomas. It covers the shoreline. It's trying to tell everybody near the shoreline what's up. So maybe your cell phone was close enough to a cell tower in St. Thomas if you're in southern London. Let us know if you're in London if you got that. Thanks, Icy. I know how to say Wallaceburg. That one's easy. Wallaceburg is easy. Blenheim, when it says Blenheim, is a little trickier. Lots of folks getting... Oh my goodness. What is happening to the comments? It is bananas here. Craig coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Craig. Appreciate it. Thanks for the coverage, guys. Watching here in Barrie. Thank you, Craig. I'm watching here in Barrie as well. We got it in St. Thomas, says Haley. In London, did not get it, says Kenneth. Now, let's remember, though, they just did that alert ready test, and there's a lot of folks that didn't get the alert ready notification, which is, we put up a survey for it, and there's so many people that said they did not receive it. A lot of them with Rogers, I think. Yeah, because I think my wife didn't get it, but I got it, so I've got Belle. She has Rogers, and she didn't get it, and I did get it. I think. Something like that. Cody coming in with the can't wait for Environment Canada to get the polygons out. Yeah, it's coming. They're announcing it at CMOS this year. I don't know exactly when it's going to go live, but I'm optimistic that it's going to maybe go into a test phase publicly. That would be great. If it went to a test phase publicly this year, that'd be fantastic. It'd be fantastic. So, Pickle says, when was the alert ready test? I guess you didn't get it. It was I don't know. It's like a week ago or a couple weeks ago. I forget. It was earlier in May. Melanie says, Rogers seems to be in the bad end service lately. Listen, everybody has their moments, you know. I've had moments where, because we have Bell and Rogers at home, because I have to be live, right? So it kind of makes sense that I have two different ISPs, two different internet service providers. And there are times where it's like, Rogers have an issue, I've got Bell, yay. And there's times where I'm like, Bell's completely down, I've got Rogers, yay. So, I don't know. It's like, the day of the week. No system is perfect. That's why redundancy is helpful. That's why it's helpful. Let's see here. Elena says, will a tornado hit the ground in Kingsville? I don't know. I'm doubting it, but stranger things have happened. You're kind of in the area that we're watching closely here, so I would say be prepared in that area, but I don't think, I don't think running to the basement right now it makes sense just based on radar. Yeah. I mean, there are times where we can't see it on radar. When there's a landspout risk, you can't see it on radar. You just have to go by reports. That's why our reporting group is so awesome. If you are not on Facebook, I'm sorry for you, only for the fact that, like, literally a great reason to get on the Book of Faces is the fact that we have the most incredible reporting group in the history of humanity. I'm going to go put it out there. That's where I'm going with this one. In the history of humanity, we have the best storm reporting group ever made, which is called Ontario Storm Reports. And we have actually that same caliber all the way across the country for the different tornado-prone regions. So we have Alberta Storm Reports, which is huge and amazing, and everyone's participating there a lot. We have Saskatchewan Storm Reports, same thing. Manitoba Storm Reports, same thing. And we have Ontario Storm Reports, which has absolutely exploded. The thing is like 280,000 people on there now. So if you want to find out what people are experiencing in real time, Ontario Storm Reports on Facebook is incredible. Let us know in the comments. Are you on Ontario Storm Reports? We started that group like 2 years ago, and it is just exploded. It is unbelievable how fast that group has grown. Unbelievable. Yeah, Commander Brantford. I mean, let's be prepared, not scared. That's the way to go. If you're prepared, it's less scary. There is some damaging wind risk for areas like Dealtown, Erio, Shrewsbury. There are some strong winds on that storm heading that way. Again, there's like no cape. The environment is weak. So will it stay strong? But maybe not, probably not. But areas that are just off the shoreline, they have the best chance of seeing damaging wind gusts with this one for sure. Dr. Sills just said, marine tornado warnings for Western Lake Erie issued by Environment Canada are still valid, and based on what I'm seeing on radar, folks in Kingsville area in particular should be taking shelter right now. Okay, I'm gonna go. Doctor knows what he's talking about. Let me see what storm he's referring to. Oh, the Kingsville one. Okay, yeah. If you are in, let me see what he's talking about. Interesting. If you are in Kingsville right now, I would say take shelter. Dr. Sills knows what he's talking about. He's from the Northern Tornadoes Project, partners with, I see what he's referring to. Okay. Interesting. It looks pretty soft, but yeah, there's, Give me 1 second here. I see what he's talking about. Okay. Yeah. It looks pretty soft, but it's probably worth taking shelter because there's definitely is some rotation, and we've seen really, really weak signatures like this manifest into something. So, yeah, if you are in the Kingsville area, if you're in the Ruthven, like west of, just west of Leamington, Union, Ruthven area, Kingsville, I would be taking shelter with that storm because it's still, it's looking interesting. It's weak, but it's looking interesting. So, yeah, and this basically right here, this storm right here. So we're not seeing the rotation on Cleveland. We're barely seeing it on Detroit, but the Detroit airport radar is picking up on it, and there's just a little bit of rotation heading towards Kingsville. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and concur with the doctor on that one. Dave knows what he's talking about, and I'm sure he's seen stranger things with signatures that week before in an environment like this. So, yeah, I would say if you're in the Kingsville area, probably want to take shelter with that one. I would think so. Just as a precaution, it does look relatively weak, but I would... Heather says, Doctor Who? No, Dr. David Sills from the Northern Tornadoes Project, formerly from Environment Canada. He's basically like Dr. Tornado. M Buck says tornado right now in Kent Bridge. Kent Bridge? Does anybody know where Kent Bridge is? Is it referring to the U.S. or are you referring to Canada? I'm going to go double check. Kent Bridge. Municipality in Ontario. Kent Bridge, Ontario. Okay. Let me double check on the map. Are you sure this is northeast of Chatham-Kent? You sure about this, dude? Is this another one of those like we had earlier? In Kent Bridge. Trainer right now in Kent Bridge. Northeast of Chatham-Kent. I mean, radar looks super duper boring. For that area. Looks super boring. I don't know what you're talking about. And there's no non-sup, from what I can tell. Yeah, there's 0 non-supercell. There is 0 supercell. There's only inhibition. There's no VTP. There's no STP. There is no environment. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's probably not happening. This happens a lot, though, where folks kind of see like clouds hanging low towards the ground. Sometimes they're scud. Sometimes they could be a funnel, but this does happen where folks see something and say, oh, yeah, it's strong. But then, I mean, there is nothing data-wise that tells me that this is a tornado that is northeast of Chatham-Kent. In Kent Bridge, I'm not seeing it, but hey, you never know. Let's see here. Oh, very strong winds heading towards Erieu, E-R-I-E-A-U, Shrewsbury area. Let me just scroll in here. This area right here, if you're in Erieu, Blenheim, O-U-V-R-Y, Ouvry, or Ridgetown. But yeah, that area you're referring to, that's northeast of Chatham-Kent. Kent Town, was it? I'm not seeing any rotation up there. There's no non-sup in the environment. I am quite doubtful that that is a actual on-the-ground tornado report. Stranger things have happened, though, folks. Stranger things have happened. Just saying. I'm going to put that out there at all times. Erieu. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, those Shrewsbury winds picked up a lot. Yeah, it's coming in. So what Dr. Sills is referring to here for Kingsville is this little kind of broad rotation here. He doesn't like the look of it. Probably doesn't like the shape of that storm. I would say, yeah, the Kingsville area probably want to be taking shelter with that particular storm at this point in time. These really strong winds heading for Erieu right now, 91 kilometers an hour. We could see a bit of a damaging wind risk into Erieu, Blenheim, Cedar Springs area, and that seems to be heading towards the surface right now. Let me just back this up a bit. Yeah, you can see it's kind of going to the northwest. So heading up towards Erieu, Cedar Springs, Blenheim, Charing Cross, this whole area right here. These are pretty darn strong winds showing up on velocity. Hopefully they're further up off the surface. Danny says, just talked to a guy that lives in Kent Bridge, and he said it's not even windy. Okay. Len says, what direction is the storm heading? They're all kind of heading to the northwest. The whole thing's curling around. So it's kind of heading to the northwest. Matt says, can tornadoes occur in a no environment, a zero environment? Yes, usually in the form of like what they used to refer to as a cold core funnel, or like those days we just have like funnel cloud advisories, and you can have like a landspout touchdown. It's kind of, I like to refer to it as a dust devil on just steroids or something. It's just like, but even though there have been some landspouts, I don't know if you've seen the landspouts lately in Alberta from previous years, but there have been some very, very impressive landspouts. Kyle Britton always seems to get the perfect photo of them. And those are quite dangerous for landspouts. That's kind of typically the zero environment, like a really weak environment. We can still have landspout activity. To have a supercell tornado happen in zero supercell, again, when we talk about that snow NATO that happened in November of 2013 in Eastern Ontario, it was 0 Celsius. There was 0 supercell that day, and there was an EF1 tornado. So something about Southern Ontario and all these different lake breezes, that seems to kind of churn things up at times where even when they look pretty weak, you can have things churn up. Travis just said power flickering in Kentbridge, where someone said that there was a tornado, even though, like, I'm not seeing anything on radar at all. Amazing Person 349 said landspouts can get up to EF3 strength in very rare circumstances. Yeah, if something like that's going to happen, that would be over
Adam,
in Alberta probably. Yep.
can you open the forecasting chat?
Yeah, sorry, did I not have it open? Oh, my bad.
To go. The team just wants to stay in touch with you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I didn't have that open. Let me put this window somewhere I can see it quickly. There we go. There we go. I can always see it. Okay. I can see you, team. My apologies. Normally I have our forecasting chat open. Cody says tornado warning over the water has been dropped. Yep, that's right. Tornado warning has been dropped, folks, for basically the water area here. Yeah, so currently there is no tornado warning. There is still severe thunderstorm warnings, and there is still some strong winds heading up towards Blenheim. With this environment, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to weaken. I can see that there's no tornado warning on Instant Weather Pro. You might see it on different apps because they take quite a long time to refresh. But Instant Weather Pro has no tornado warning instantly. We like to be instant. Yeah, so strong winds are still heading up towards Erio, Shrewsbury, Dealtown, Merlin. The tornado warning for the water has been dropped. I'm just checking that right now from the Cleveland radar. Okay. Sorry, just talking to the team here. Yeah. So yeah, there's that little storm heading through the Kingsville area. Hopefully it's not producing anything, but again, Dr. Sills brought our attention to that one, and yeah, hopefully folks there did take shelter with that particular storm. However, the tornado warning for Lake Erie has been dropped. Shelly says, do I need to take shelter near Kingsville? I would with that storm. Just until it passes. It just has an interesting shape to it, and it does have some minor rotation. So I would say, yeah, we still have our rotation polygon for all of Essex County at the moment. The main risk right now is going to be for folks near Shrewsbury, Erio, Dealtown, basically kind of like the Chatham-Kent area, and maybe to the east of that as well too, near Rodney, Wallacestown, Dutton, Port Stanley. There's going to be some pretty strong winds coming up off of Lake Erie from those same storms that looked really strong before. They look like they are weakening some, but we're talking about still some strong winds there. Karina says, do I need to take shelter in Leamington? I don't think so. Yeah, if that storm is doing anything, it's happening over in Kingsville. But Leamington is in basically a radar hole right now. There should be pretty close to no precipitation there, if not really light rain. So right now, Leamington's okay. Yeah, just west of Leamington is where that storm is. So we're still just a little bit concerned with that one because it has been kind of rotating. It does look relatively weak on velocity. Let me take a look at airport velocity on it. Yeah, there's still a little something, just a little something from the airport radar. So that's still a bit of a concern, but it should be just to the west of Leamington. If you're in western Leamington, maybe, but yeah, it's more like Kingsville. It's basically Union, Ruthven. Anything east of Union or Ruthven is probably okay. What we're seeing on radar is more towards Kingsville, Union, and Ruthven at this point in time. Amy says, how's the weather tomorrow, Adam? I'm in London, supposed to rain, but are the storms bad? We have a friend flying out of Toronto at 8 a.m. That's a good question. And for tomorrow, I don't think I saw anything for the London area other than maybe some storms. Let me go take a peek at some data in the background really quick, and we'll see what's up for the London area. Tomorrow, oh yeah, there might be something going on. Might be a little bit of severe risk tomorrow in the west and southwestern Ontario. A little bit in the afternoon. The main risk tomorrow, though, eastern Ontario is looking pretty spicy actually. Ottawa area from Kingston up to Ottawa and the whole kind of corridor all the way over to Cornwall. Maybe from Peterborough east. Looks like we're going live tomorrow. Yeah, actually there is some hail potential as well around Georgian
Adam,
Bay, maybe. Yep.
just to clarify, we think the tornado warning over Lake Erie still may be active because they just issued a squall warning that covered the tornado warning on Instant Weather Pro, and
Oh, is it under there?
it's still in the app. It hasn't
Oh,
been
if it's
ended from
oh
what
my
we can
bad. If it's still
tell.
in the app, that's right. Yeah. No, if it's still in the app, then it's definitely still active.
But
Okay,
I'm not
that's a mistake.
seeing it on the Environment Canada watches and warnings map.
On their marine.
It won't
Like, let me
show
hold
up on the main Environment Canada
Yeah.
website.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
Yeah, it would
Because
be on
they
the
have a
marine
separate
alerts.
marine map.
Yeah, they have a separate marine map. Let me double check.
Okay. I don't
It
have
is.
that one.
Oh no, it
bookmarked.
is still in effect. That's right. Oh, sorry, that was my mistake, folks. The tornado warning is still in effect for Lake Erie. It just got covered up by another warning. So we're about to upgrade the way we show the warnings on Instant Weather Pro, where the most important ones are going to go on top. So you'd always see that tornado warning on top, but it actually got covered. They issued squall warning, and it put it on top of the tornado warning in our display. So that's my mistake. My apologies. The tornado warning is still active. I'm glad whoever figured that out was that Cody who figured that out? Yeah, no, the tornado warning is still active.
We were all
for
confused
Lake
in the
Erie.
chat because we never got the ending notification from the app. So we're like, what's going on? And we're looking into it and we're trying to figure it out.
Okay. Angela says, can you put the name of the app you recommend for getting alerts, please? Yeah, we have a free app called Instant Weather, and it's fantastic. So, and actually, yeah, that would have been the perfect spot. So if you look in the app and it still shows, if it shows the tornado warning in our app, that means it's still active. So, yeah, no matter what I say, if it's in the app, we built that system pretty robust. So yeah, it is definitely still active for Lake Erie. It's just being covered by this marine alert. So
yeah, that's the
there's
thing that
Erio.
confused me because
There's Erio
if it
845. Yeah, it should go on top.
Instant Weather Pro,
Yeah,
it should be ended in the app. So it's like they're both the same
right.
system. So I couldn't
No, it's
figure out
definitely
why
not.
one.
It's still on their
would show
marine
that.
page. It's still active for sure. Yeah, so the tornado warning is still active for Lake Erie. Let's just double check and see what's happening here. Our friends in Kingsville that we've told to obviously take shelter in the path of the storm. Radar still looks really weak. Dr. Sills mentioned he still thinks that's an interesting storm. So that's why we're just waiting for it to pass until you don't necessarily have to take shelter anymore with that one. Strong winds are now starting to creep into Erio, Shrewsbury, Dealtown. Let us know in the comments, by the way, if you can. Let us know in the comments if you're in Erio or Shrewsbury or Dealtown, how strong it is there. Sherry says Dealtown. Yes, really strong winds heading into Dealtown. So let us know what you're experiencing there. Sheldon says, yeah, I just got another tornado warning. Yeah, so they're still sending out through alert ready. Okay, so it is still, again, it's only for Lake Erie. There is no tornado warning for land. So if you are a land dweller, there is no tornado warning for land. If you are on a boat in Lake Erie, there's still a tornado warning for you. But if you are in, again, if you're in Dealtown, Matthew says, I'm in Dealtown. What are you experiencing? Just lots of winds, says Joshua. Shrewsbury, windy. Yeah, it's gonna be windy. It looks pretty windy there for sure. But yeah, no tornado warning for land at this point in time. Only for the water, and the water includes like the shoreline, right? They extended the severe thunderstorm warning to Rodney, Shedden, Western Elgin County. So that is basically those areas that those strong winds are coming into right now. There's a shot from Chatham, Kent. These storms look fairly elevated, and they look really soft. Cody says, no tornado warnings for ye landlubbers. If you do live on land and not in the water, then there is no tornado warning for you. But again, they still have not expired the tornado warning that is over the water. MSS Raleigh says, just got a tornado warning in Port Burwell. Why doesn't it say marine? They just label them as tornado warnings. I don't think they put like on water. We did that specifically. We went out of our way, adjusted our code, and added the brackets that say on water. If you want to know if your tornado warning is a water tornado warning or a land tornado warning, then you probably want to download our free app. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. Head over to that website or just go to the App Store and type Instant Weather. You'll see our blue and white icon like the one at the very top of the screen. It'll just be an I and W, white and blue, and then it's free. Make sure it's a free app. There is another app out there, I believe, called Insta Weather, and it's like $4 or something. That's not us. We are free. Download the free app. Cole says it should say marine tornado warning on the top of the alert. For alert ready. Yeah, I mean, that would be very helpful if it said marine, or if in the details it said marine. By the way, right now, no storm that we're watching has any machine learning is saying 0% tornado risk on every single one. 0%, 0%, 0%, 0%, 0%, 0%. Everything is 0%. So it's unlikely we're going to see a tornado with these storms. But strong winds, definitely strong winds moving into areas like the Chatham-Kent areas. Lori Ree with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Lori. Sincerely appreciate the support. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Rotation in Kingsville looks interesting now. Yeah, it's super soft and pretty much not there. Kathy says, not sure if anyone at OTW is seeing this. Kathy, what's up? What am I not seeing? I'm trying to scroll back to see. Somebody was asking about Barry. Barry's fine. If you don't live, it's hitting really hard, says Callum. Yeah, the strong winds for sure. If you, Kathy says, Adam. Hi, Kathy. What's up? Let me know where you're. Rain's coming down in Chatham-Kent a lot, says Callum. It's all, take a deep breath, Callum. It's all good. You're all good right now. Just some strong winds and some strong winds and torrential rain. The winds that are over Lake Erie right now, this is the next line of storms that is heading towards kind of those same areas like Wallacestown and Rodney. There are some strong winds over Lake Erie right now, though. They seem to be weakening as they get to the shoreline, but like, let's go take a look at Exeter radar right now. I want to show you what I'm talking about. If we go to Exeter and we take a look at these winds right here, 86, 87, 88 kilometers an hour. So there's a couple of pockets, and these ones over here as well, too, that are further out, 93-ish kilometers an hour. So severe winds over Lake Erie. This is interesting. Is this noise? I hope so. 58 kilometers an hour, 131. I think that's noise. I hope that's noise. If that's not noise, that could be a problem. Stranger things have happened, folks. So let's keep an eye out here. If you are in Cedar Springs area, Ouvrey area, Ouvry area right here, this is a interesting part of the storm to watch. Let's go back a few frames. Kind of trying to rotate. There's some really soft rotation in here. My little rotation polygon does not include that particular area. Let's see. Still, they have that marine tornado warning at this point in time. I'll keep refreshing the page to see when they finally ended. I'm not sure if they will, but at least for a little bit, because there's still some interesting signatures over the water here. But still tornado warning effect for Lake Erie, not for land, but for Lake Erie. Kathy's asking about Grand Bend. You're fine. You might see some storms later, but you're fine. You're good. Oh, Kathy says she got a tornado warning in London. Yeah. London is not inside of a tornado warning right now. You're just near the polygon, so you probably received it because your cell phone can reach a cell phone tower that's inside the tornado warning, but London is not inside of a tornado warning right now. That's for a fact. Yeah, these winds over Lake Erie, they're a little bit closer to Exeter radar now. So, yeah, it's going to be windy. There's definitely going to be some strong wind gusts that move north of Lake Erie Maybe eventually towards London, but will they stay strong as they head towards that area? It's hard to say. Chances are they don't. There's no cape at the surface right now, like 0. But hey. Stranger things have happened. Let's see here. Yeah, there's something, that Deal Town area. Could be some minor rotation in there. That's the only spot right now that I'm thinking is interesting. Callum says, it just stopped. Good to know. Chris asked him about Peely Island. Nothing right now. There's nothing interesting Peely Island at the moment. Peely Island's good. Maybe some rain. Yeah, the main storms of concern are the ones that are just about to head towards Irio, Blenheim, Overy area. Or Overy. Probably Overy. Cedar Springs, Irio. This is the area of concern at the moment. It's got an interesting kind of like hook to it, actually. Really not seeing much for rotation, though. Yeah. Let's see what it looks like on Exeter. Exeter is the only... I'm waiting for an Exeter update right now, just to see. It's the closer radar to this particular storm. Where is Exeter? Oh, there we go. Exeter radar. We refer to Exeter all the time. We're not actually referring to Exeter proper. We're referring to Exeter radar. Like, is this a tiny little 22 kilometers on one side and 1 kilometer on the other side? No. Waiting for another frame on this. Let's see what Tilt 2 shows. Well, Tilt 2 is interesting. Ish. This is more interesting. These little pockets of strong winds over here are more interesting to me right now. We'll see what they do as they get close to the surface, as they get close to land. So the only area of concern we saw was kind of like that Kingsville area and over here near Overy. Hope it's Overy. Sorry, just going through the comments. So many comments. Cody says, is Kingsville okay right now? I mean, based on radar, I don't really see anything too strong. I don't know what the doctor's saying now, but I'm not that excited about it. It looks like it looked a little more interesting on a previous frame. I think it has weakened quite a bit. Deal Town should be getting some pretty strong winds right now, I would think. Yeah, it just looks like pretty much a little bit of a wind risk right along the shoreline. If there was rotation in the Kingsville area, I'm not seeing it now. It looks super weak. There is kind of a little bit of a hook there, but the velocities are so boring. I don't know. In Kingsville area, I'd probably wait a little bit until that storm moves along. It's heading up towards Cottam and Staples area, kind of like northwest of London. It's starting to kind of shift to the northeast a little bit. That's kind of the one to keep an eye on, that particular storm. Gotta charge my phone here. Actually, speaking of which, I can get my iPad out. So many different things to look at once. Lots to look at. Yeah, that storm I keep an eye on, but I don't know. Velocities look really weak right now, but that could change. But we're just keeping an eye on it at the moment. The one over by Kingsville. Amanda says there's nothing happening, LOL. Where are you located, Amanda? Brent says, caught him. That's me. Generator is ready. Awesome. Amanda says Sarnia. Yeah, Sarnia's fine right now. Maybe just some rain. Maybe a little bit of lightning. Yeah, so things got interesting. And we continue to watch. See if anything changes. But right now, again, I've been doubtful about this all night, so. When you do this for long enough, you're like, eh. No cape. No supercell. Meh. Kate says, there's a very weird storm here in Blenheim. Can you define what very weird means? Your LOL makes me think that it's not that interesting. Probably pretty windy. I bet it's pretty windy in Blenheim right now. Ashley says, or Ashes says, Ontario Stormwatch Facebook flagged your comment as spam and hit it. Which comment? Can you let us know which comment it was? Sometimes the algorithm just does it automatically. Going through the comments here. Nicholas says, do we have a Discord? Actually, it's almost ready. Team's been working on it, so I think we're probably going to launch an Instant Weather Discord. It'll be pretty cool. Let us know if you want to join us on our new Instant Weather Discord when it launches. Could be pretty cool. Janine says, I've seen worse in Shrewsbury. Yeah. Dutton is green clouds. Interesting. I mean, it is like sunset, so. Yeah, I think Brennan just posted to Twitter to clarify. He said many across southwestern Ontario, including London, St. Thomas, Chatham, and Leamington, have reported receiving a tornado warning on their phone. To clarify, the tornado warning is in effect over Lake Erie. There is no active tornado warning for land as of 9:03. Yeah, it's just for Lake Erie. It's for Lake Erie and the shorelines. I think St. Thomas actually does just touch the polygon barely. Like if you're in southwestern St. Thomas, you're barely in the actual polygon region. But the tornado warning itself is for Lake Erie. Cloud says I could be developer regarding Discord. That's cool. We've got our development team working on it, and it's exciting. People are still getting the emergency alert in Chatham. Yeah, I mean, again. Lisa says, where is Lake Erie? It's one of the Great Lakes. It is west of Lake Ontario. If you know the areas like Windsor-ish, Leamington, if you know like London, Ontario, it's like south of London, Ontario. It is a big body of water that is one of the main Great Lakes. Shauna says, the tornado warning should have indicated it was for Lake Erie. It said nothing with regards to location. Yeah, I agree. It would be nice. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if the tornado warnings that take over the TV and radio and your phone actually say where they're for? Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, maybe I'm asking too much. Oh, Alberta, the funnel cloud advisory has ended for parts of Alberta. I don't know if it's for all of Alberta, but I know it's for parts. Okay, folks. So there's that. Stu says, no sarcasm at all, eh, Adam? Yeah, none at all. I can be a bit sarcastic at times. It's okay. Things will get better, right? Systems will improve, won't they? Won't they? Oh well, whether they do or don't, we'll be live. We'll be letting you know what's up. Looks like could be some strong winds near Dealtown, Erie Beach, Blenheim, Shrewsbury. Someone said storm isn't that impressive in Shrewsbury, but looks like could be some pretty gusty winds there. Yeah, we talked about before about Kingsville taking shelter. That storm is now well north of Kingsville, so it is not a problem for Kingsville anymore. You're good. The storm that we're watching still kind of heading up towards Staples and Cottam, but I don't know. Lowest level rotation looks pretty boring. I'm not that excited about it. And the only thing that looks interesting right now are the winds near Dealtown. That's about it. There's rain elsewhere. There's still some strong winds over Lake Erie. So those could kind of head to the north, maybe towards St. Thomas area. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe up towards London. Could be a windy night for folks, but I'm not sure if it's going to reach severe thresholds. So we'll see. Yeah. So like we said here, actually, let me animate this so you can see what's up. I'm talking about these winds right here, so you can see these pretty darn strong winds. This is it just me, or does this kind of look like a face, like two eyes and a weird mouth here? Anyways, it's one of those nights. So yeah, there's some pretty strong winds, 96 kilometers an hour over Lake Erie, on the U.S. side of Lake Erie. Because obviously the international border splits Lake Erie right here. So on the U.S. side of Lake Erie, there is still some really strong wind gusts. They could maybe head up towards St. Thomas and London. There's no cape in the environment. You can see what's happening. All the storms, when they're on the U.S. side of the border here, they're like, we're looking strong, like a evil smiley face here. But then as they get to the north, look how washed out everything gets up here. It's just becoming a big washout. Still some strong wind gusts, but overall, just this big washout. This is the storm I'm talking about. That was kind of north of Kingsville, near Staples. This one has kind of got a little hook to it. Velocity looks quite weak at the moment from every radar. But we're still watching that one because it's got an interesting shape to it, but it's questionable if it's going to do anything as far as severe weather is concerned. But yeah, so grumpy storm, big strong winds heading up to the north, and as soon as they hit land, they go and they turn into this mush. Oh, what's interesting here? This is interesting. Kind of, not really. Couple little areas of interest to watch. And that's why we're still alive. But Liam says, we are live on Facebook as well. Yeah, we did go live on Facebook as well for this one. Just because the tornado warning issued, we wanted to make sure folks knew what was up. Yeah, so did they... Cole, are you saying they reissued the tornado warning for Lake Erie? It looks like they did, at 9:09. Yeah, they've reissued the tornado warning for Lake Erie. So that's probably why a lot of folks are getting it. So the tornado warning for Lake Erie has continued. For now. So, we're continuing to watch. We're continuing to watch. Let me just check a few things in the background here. Give me a second. Oh, I don't have my Discord on. My apologies to the team, in case anybody was trying to get a hold of me on Discord. 1 second. Ah, it was Liam on there. Okay. Can't hear me because I'm muted, but the tornado warning has been reissued. But it's only for Lake Erie, folks. Still not for land. Still not for land. Could be for the... I mean, you could consider it for the shoreline. But that's basically it. Richard said Windsor to Niagara Falls is Lake Erie, for those who are wondering what Lake Erie we're talking about there. Okay, I'm just checking a few things in the background. Give me just a momento. Uno momento. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry, you wanted me to look at... Someone wanted me to look at Coatesworth. Yeah, Coatesworth, sorry, moving that radar around pretty quickly. Coatesworth seems fine-ish right now. Let me just double check. There's these situations, you're gonna kind of check a few... What is this? Gotta kind of check a few different radars. What is that? Anyways, sorry. Mainly concerned about the strong winds that are heading into areas like towards St. Thomas-ish. That's kind of our main concern at this point in time. Environment Canada has decided to continue the tornado warning for Lake Erie, which is interesting. I don't see any rotation over Lake Erie right now, but they've continued the tornado warning, maybe expecting that these storms coming up from the States could have another go at rotating. Maybe. Ish. Maybe-ish. Yeah, it could be some strong winds and towards the Chatham-Kent areas now. Let us know what you're experiencing there as well. Pretty, please. Let's see here. Mike says the wind gusts are starting back up for Dealtown. Thank you very much for the report. Appreciate it. TC Animate says tornado emergency right now in Crider, Kentucky. Oh my goodness. Our thoughts are with those stateside that are dealing with some very strong severe weather today and lots of tornado warnings down there. At one point in time, I saw 14 different tornado warnings in the U.S. Amazing Person 3409 saying the same thing. Tornado emergency now in Kentucky. Same area that was impacted by the Mayfield, Kentucky tornado. Oh, great. That's all they need is another tornado emergency for their area. It's awful. Chatham is dead calm. Heavy rain. No wind. Okay, so these are really becoming elevated now. If based on how the strength of the winds that we're seeing on velocity for Chatham-Kent, if there is no wind right now, then these storms are probably becoming elevated further up off the surface, which is good news. When they come further up off the surface, that's good. Except Leslie says, whoa, Blenheim, wind getting worse, super loud. Is the rain super loud or is the wind super loud? Jordan says Blenheim is windy. Yeah, so as it comes up off the water, it's going to be pretty gusty there, and then as it moves to the further off the shoreline, it's probably going to become weaker and weaker, just because the overall environment is pretty weak, but just not weak enough for things to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, like the wind on Cleveland radar looks pretty strong, but people are saying for Chatham-Kent, but people are saying Chatham-Kent is pretty boring at the moment and not very windy. It could be getting windier soon. Looks like there could be some strong winds coming in from the south. And that storm in that storm in Essex County seems to be becoming softer and softer. I'm not that concerned with it at the moment. The one we were talking about from Kingsville earlier. The only area I'm concerned with right now is Chatham-Kent should be getting pretty windy. If Chatham-Kent is zero wind, then these storms are becoming elevated as they move onto land, which is good. I would think so. Still some strong winds over Lake Erie on the state side, and those strong winds could maybe head up towards Ridgetown, Highgate, maybe towards St. Thomas, Wallacestown, Dutton, and that's going to happen over the next kind of 20 minutes ish. Brennan says London has been getting a tornado warning without any details for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, someone sent it to us on Twitter what they've been getting. Literally, all it says is Environment Canada, tornado, take cover immediately in basement or interior room.
It doesn't even say tornado warning.
It doesn't even say the location. Just says tornado in caps. And like London has been getting that for like the last hour and a half. Ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. There's no tornado warning. Oh. Yeah, tornado warning on water has ended.
Yes.
Yes, I just saw that on Twitter. Twitter's actually a good feed for me just to see when the tornado warnings are issued.
So London can finally come out of their basement, I guess.
Yeah, there was no risk for London. Yeah. So there was no tornado warning ever for London. You get it on your phones just because the system has issues. The Alert Ready system has issues, so that's why you're getting it on your phone. The tornado warning over the water has been ended. So they extended it for 10 minutes, and then they've ended it now. So there is finally no tornado warning over water. There was never tornado warning over land. Only a tornado warning on the water. There was only ever a marine tornado warning. Excuse me. Tammy says, where does Barrie fit into all of this? If it's a puzzle piece, it's kind of to the north. Barry's fine. You're fine. I'm in Barry. Barry ain't scary. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. Let's see here. Yeah, the only thing I'm interested about is these winds moving into right now Wallace-town, Dutton from Lake Erie. If they stay strong, which they may or may not. I don't know. And it's basically this cluster of storms right here, kind of moving to the north towards St. Thomas. Folks in Chatham, Kent, are saying that there is zero wind. And that is interesting, which means that yeah, it sure did, Bren. Yeah, that is interesting because wait, what was I saying? Everyone's saying that. Eileen putting in a good point. She says, Chatham, Kent is a large area. Amalgamated the city of Chatham with all small towns in Kent County under one name. The city of Chatham is just rain. Blenheim is part of Chatham, Kent, out towards the lake. Thank you for clarifying that. Lori says, tornado warning ended for Chatham, Kent. Tornado warning never existed for Chatham, Kent. There was a tornado warning for Lake Erie, but never for Chatham, Kent. You would have got one. Again, because the system has interesting issues. We would send it out. Actually, we wouldn't have sent it out. I don't think. No, I don't think on the app, I don't think Chatham, Kent would have received it on, the town of Chatham would have received it on our app because we go exactly by the marine polygon, and I don't think that reaches Chatham, Kent exactly. So, again, we're not alert ready. That's Alert Ready's Palmer X, which is the weather network, which is was contracted by Environment Canada to create the Alert Ready system. So that whole thing is a whole thing, and we're not part of that whole thing. We are independent of that. But that's good because then we have independent systems that can, provide more redundancy, which is good in some cases. Amazing Person 349, flooding looks to be the biggest risk with these storms as they become elevated over southwestern Ontario. Big blob of rain with more throughout the night and tomorrow. Amazing Person 3409, how are you not part of our team? I feel like you are part of our team because you're on every live stream. But one of these days, do I know who you are? And this is just your... I bet I have a feeling I know who this person is. But they have just created an alias with a completely blank icon. Amazing Person 3409. Do I know you, Amazing Person 3409? Bet I do. Maybe I don't. Let me know. It's like the Masked Singer around here. All right. No wind in St. Thomas, just light rain we're hearing. Is Cornwall going to be hit, says Will? Tomorrow, Eastern Ontario has a risk. Right now, Eastern Ontario has no risk. But tomorrow, Brendan, are you thinking of going slight? I think it's slight tomorrow. I think we're going yellow. That's just my first guess on it here. Brendan's probably making some crunchy craft dinner right now. I
had that for lunch.
What do you think? Tomorrow's yellow in Eastern Ontario? Did you look at it? It looks like yellow.
I haven't looked because I was too busy on the new overlay for the live stream.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you could, if you can take a peek at that, go take a look at the her. It looks pretty good for tomorrow. I think tomorrow Eastern Ontario, supercells getting relatively high up into 4, maybe up into 6, maybe up to 8. So yeah, tomorrow is looking Eastern Ontario. We're gonna be live tomorrow. I would think so because it's looking pretty grumpy for Eastern Ontario. Our team member Patricia, who is in Chatham, says our sub pumps are going nuts. Yeah, so basically a flood risk. Tiny Dancer says, how's Wallaceburg, Adam or Liam? I mean, rain. Going to see some storms overnight, folks. The main risk is going to be flooding for these areas that had non-stop heavy rain for a long time. There's a little bit of wind risk maybe for the St. Thomas area. But overall, people are asking about the tornado risk. I mean, ultimately, I was never excited that there was going to be one. The only thing that excited me was that really strong rotation over Lake Erie. That was like, okay, we need to go live. That's pretty strong. But I was still very skeptical of it actually reaching land and remaining strong. So, is there any tornado risk right now? I don't see any at all. The tornado warning was dropped. There's still severe thunderstorm warnings in place in Essex County. I don't think that Essex County one's going to last very long. I don't think the other ones are going to last very long either. And the severe thunderstorm watch may hang out for a while. We'll see. But yeah, maybe some gusty winds for like St. Thomas, maybe for London. Everybody's going to see a lot of rain. This rain is going to just like swath the region. Let's zoom out here so you can kind of see, even just from the Exeter radar, you can see how much rain is happening here. I mean, and this extends all the way down. So actually, if I turn this off, you can see mosaic radar. So you can see we've got a big heavy swath of rain that goes all the way down into the U.S., all the way up here, and it's going to push to the northeast. So we're going to see some heavy rain overnight into most of central Ontario, through the GTA, through Niagara, all the way up here, and then tomorrow looks pretty grumpy from Belleville, Kingston, up into Ottawa, Cornwall, Brockville. This whole area looks pretty grumpy tomorrow, so we'll be live again tomorrow. So keep your eye out for that. Chances are we'll be live tomorrow. Someone says the sky looked odd. Someone said the sky looked odd in Windsor. Remember, the sun went down. What was that? Dr. Sill says the marine warning for Western Lake Erie, issued earlier by Environment Canada, has now been canceled. Some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings alerts still remain in effect for southwestern Ontario. Correct. Amy says still tornado warnings? No. They have been taken down. Tornado risk report, Burwell? I don't think so. I don't think there's really... I never really thought there was a tornado risk. Just put that out there. And never really thought so. But again, if someone was on a boat in the middle of Lake Erie, I have a feeling there was a tornadic water spout. So there's what they call fair weather water spouts, right? A fair weather water spout is kind of like, when it's like November or it's like October and it's kind of cold out, but it's like these really calm, perfect conditions, and you start to get all these wild water spouts over the lake, but they just stay on the lake, and they're very small and they're very concentrated, and those are kind of like fair weather water spouts. Then you have what we had today, which is, if this was over land, it probably would have been a tornado on land, but it was likely a tornadic water spout over the water. Yeah, and so did a tornado happen over Lake Erie? Probably. Did it have any chance of staying strong as it came towards the shoreline? A little bit. Did it actually produce a tornado in southwestern Ontario today? I'm doubtful, but whoa, this looks more interesting. Maybe not. Chatham Kent. Is Chatham Kent still boring? Let us know. Let us know, fam. Patricia, is Chatham Kent still boring? Brennan, the sun didn't go down. It's just a... let us know in Chatham Kent what's going on, because there's actually some really broad soft rotation here, but it's probably nothing. But let us know. Just rain, no wind in Chatham Kent. All right, that's fine. April said the tornado warning didn't say Lake Erie, just said tornado warning in my area. Yeah, that happened to a lot of folks. How confusing is that? You're in London. This has happened to Barrie the other night. People are in Barrie getting a tornado warning. Like, they're taking shelter. There was no tornado warning for Barrie at that point in time. We had to sit there and say, no, there's no tornado warning for Barrie. And then tonight, it's like the same thing. London, Ontario, one of our other biggest communities, is like, we all have tornado warnings blasting at us for hours, and there's no tornado warning for London. There was never a tornado warning for London. It's the definition of facepalm. My goodness.
I believe all the severe thunderstorm warnings have just ended now.
Oh. Let me refresh my little Twitter feed. Oh, little Twitter feed. Oh, I see it. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning ended for Chatham-Kent, Rodney, Shedden, Western Elkin County, Rondeau Park. Did it end for Essex County as well, too? Probably, right? I would
That
think.
was ended way earlier.
Oh, was that already ended way earlier? Okay. Should I? Why do I still have a little rotation polygon? Let me get rid of that. Just a second here, folks. I don't know why I still have that rotation polygon. That should be long gone. I still have it there. Give me a moment. Well, it's been a night, and tomorrow is going to be a day. But listen, at the end of the day, it's night. It's terrible. Terrible. At the end of the day, we'll see what happens for tomorrow. Okay, I'm getting rid of that rotation detected. I should have got rid of that a long time ago. For Essex County. So if you have our app, that would be gone. The Blue Brick says, well then, I think it's song time. Is it song time? I wasn't planning on singing anything. I wasn't even planning on going live. I was like, Brandon, I don't know, we're going to go live. Boring. And it was boring. It did kind of get interesting. But today's live stream was brought to you by bringing clarity to a confusing time. That's what it was brought to you by. Of people getting tornado warnings when there is no tornado warning for their area. And so instead of me just banging my head against the desk repeatedly, I decided that probably want to go live, make sure that folks know what's up. So yeah, thank you so much for joining our live stream. Appreciate it. Maybe play some tunes. Largle says, I think it's song time. Lacey says, you rock, Adam Brennan. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Silver says, I'm using spicy weather for Eastern Ontario tomorrow. Yeah, you can say it's going to be spicy tomorrow. Tomorrow could be interesting. Yes. Kathleen says, we appreciate you. You are my go-to when warnings, etc. happen. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Miriam says, what time is it hitting Ottawa tomorrow? Did you check our app? Did anybody check the app? If you haven't, you can check our app. It's you can get it at what the heck is this? If you haven't downloaded our app, you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. I'm going to open it up right now and check. I'm literally just going to punch it into our app to find out. So tomorrow, what did she said for Ottawa, I think? Ottawa? Okay, Ottawa tomorrow. Let's see here. Our app says, should I put it up to the camera to see? Hold on. Let's see if you can see here. Our app says thunder and hail for Ottawa. What does it say? Showers and thunderstorms, high of 21 Celsius, winds from the southeast, chance of rain 100%. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I think there is a severe risk for Eastern Ontario tomorrow. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that Brandon's probably going to go yellow. Probably going to go level 2 or the slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. Yeah, all severe thunderstorm warnings have been dropped. The tornado warning for Lake Erie, it was never for land. It was only for Lake Erie, has been dropped. And severe thunderstorm watch remains in place, I believe, at this point in time. It looks like it is still in place, severe thunderstorm watch. But yeah, the only area of concern are these winds coming in from Lake Erie, 106 kilometers an hour. These are still a concern, because if they stay strong all the way to St. Thomas, it's almost like they're getting stronger. You can actually see this whole thing rotating, but there's no really strong like couplet for rotation. But watch right here. You can see this start to curl as I go through the animation. So this is a concern. This area right here, 106, 104, 107 kilometer an hour wind gusts. The fact that everyone's talking about how it's not even windy for areas that are like right here, like it almost looks like Chatham-Kent has rotation right now, but I'm hearing that it's super duper boring. Hearing it's super duper boring. Like, this would have been interesting if there was actually an environment in place. So if there was maybe some CAPE, which is called convective available potential energy. If there was maybe CAPE, if there was maybe a supercell index, if there was maybe something, if there was anything for an environment, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a little bit of minor rotation right there. But I think these storms are elevated. Like, this looks interesting near Chatham-Kent, but let us know, our Chatham-Kent people, or folks who are in Chatham, let us know. I'm pretty sure you're going to say it's pretty boring there. Just lots of rain. Pat coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you kindly. Thank you to all those who have sent in stars on Facebook as well, too. Sarah says, where are those winds headed? So those winds I was talking about, the strong winds over Lake Erie right now, they are headed up towards Port Stanley St. Thomas-ish. Yeah, they're heading north. If what's happened so far is any indication of what's going to happen, it's going to be strong winds for the shoreline, so Port Stanley, St. Thomas area, and then it should start to slowly weaken as it heads up towards London. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Kyle says strong winds coming through West Lorne right now with very heavy rain. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Sometimes really heavy rain can make it... Our team member Lindsay is in Chatham right now. She says nothing going on in Chatham. Rain's tapered off. The wind is perfectly still. Or basically still. So, is it going to be bad for London, says Anne? It could be pretty gusty. Could be. We'll see. Again, there's mainly a flood risk. Just like non-stop rain. Yeah, this Chatham-Kent area, it does look interesting, but I don't think it's doing much other than some heavy rain. Yeah. I don't know. Probably nothing. This is something over the water. But this is what's happened many, many times so far. So we had really strong winds over the water. They look like they're strong. They get towards land and they... So we'll see. We'll see what happens. EDC says, don't spam. Was somebody spamming? I didn't see any spam. Yeah, there's literally no environment right now. What I mean by no environment, I mean there's not a lot of energy to support these storms as they move on to shore. So there's no severe thunderstorm warnings in place right now. There's only a severe thunderstorm watch. I am doubtful. I'm quite doubtful that that we're going to see anything too strong move up to kind of St. Thomas, London. But those are strong winds over the water, so they could hold. I don't know. It's possible. It's a wait-and-see situation here, folks. T. Dobbs says, potentially catastrophic tornado in Kentucky right now. Very bad. Yeah, it's horrifying. It is not good. Our thoughts are with all those who are in Kentucky. Let's count how many tornado warnings there are right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tornado warnings right now. And a catastrophic tornado emergency observed west of...
You should go check out the radar in Kentucky.
I'm looking at it right now. No, I'm looking at it right now in Dawson Springs.
The latest scan?
I know, it's ridiculous. Let's go see. We're going to go take a peek over here at this tornado emergency. Oh, it's not that one for Virginia. It's in Kentucky. Oh, it's this one right here. Okay. What radar? KHPX. Okay. This is a very, very horrifying signature. Look at this, folks. This is terrifyingly strong rotation. What are some of the values in here? 104, 108, 70, 97. Yeah, and I think it's going to get even stronger in the next frame. This is a tornado emergency right now. So very, very, the highest level. In the U.S., they don't just have tornado warning. They have tornado emergency. They have PDS tornado warning and then tornado emergency. So they have like tiers of it. Ryan says, break down what you're seeing. This is a rotation. So this is wind moving towards and away from the radar. Perfectly co-located with a hook echo on a classic supercell here. And so this is likely producing a catastrophic tornado at this point in time. So if we ever see a signature like this in Ontario, I would be losing it on the live stream right now. I hope everybody down there is staying safe. It is a terrifying, terrifying situation down there right now. The States has been in it this season. What did you just post, Brennan? That it's the most tornado warnings since
Yes,
2011?
and even the number of confirmed tornadoes is like up there to date with 2011 is the highest still, but it's the second highest this year.
The second
Yeah.
highest season so far ever recorded in the U.S. I mean, in modern history, really. You know, obviously there could have been times before. There have
Yeah,
been
and
some
2011 was
brutal
just
years.
bonkers.
2011 was those two
Mhm.
high risk days was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was and it was all in like Mississippi and stuff. It was all like down in the Dixie Alley area, which for storm spotters is a horrible region because it's all just full of, it's like Ontario. It's just full of trees and hills, and it's like extremely hard. It's not like
Well, Kentucky is
Saskatchewan.
probably bad right now with all the terrain and everything in that area.
Oh, that terrain is probably brutal there right now. Yeah, that is not great. Not great. Yeah, so our thoughts are with all those in the States who are getting pummeled right now because it's brutal. Wow, it is not great down there. Oh, the latest updates are just unbelievable. The debris signature too. It's clearly and there's a total BWER, a bounded weak echo region, along with an extremely strong velocity couplet, along with an extremely clear as day debris signature. So yeah, that is doing violent, catastrophic tornado damage right now. That is awful. It is awful. Oh boy. Ashley says, "How's London?" London's good. You're gonna get some rain, so hopefully you got your plants out and stuff. That's what's happening up here. It's like, man, get your plants out there. I mean, there might be some lightning in there, but it's gonna be probably a lot of wind. The only thing we're waiting for right now is these winds that have actually weakened on the latest frame. Now we're down to 101 kilometers an hour. This pocket of strong winds, we're just waiting to see what it does as it heads towards Port Stanley, St. Thomas, and heads up toward London. If it weakens, then probably going to shut down the live stream. Let's see here. Kirian says, this is not in Canada, right? No, we're talking about Kentucky in the United States. Yeah, we were talking about the violent tornadoes in Kentucky right now. Tornado emergency in Dawson Spring and Charleston, Kentucky. Yeah, it's not great. Not great at all. Oh boy. Hope everybody's staying safe down there. It does not look good. It does not look good. But it's looking a lot better for here in southern Ontario at this point. It looks like maybe some gusty winds are going to come up off of Lake Erie. Those interesting features I saw over Chatham earlier have weakened. Yeah. This was a live stream to bring some clarity to a lot of confusion. Jeremy says tornado debris was recorded at 37,000 feet in the air. So debris from that storm was being lifted as high as a commercial jet that's flying in the sky as you fly across the United States. That's how high debris is being lofted. That is a violent tornado. Oh my goodness. That is brutal. Anyways, this is in the States we're talking about right now. We're not talking about Ontario. Selena says, how's Goderich? You're fine. Goderich is fine. Everybody in Ontario right now is pretty much fine. There's only severe thunderstorm watch in place. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think they're holding on to it with these gusty winds over Lake Erie. That would be my guess. I don't think it's going to last that long. Steve says, I'm watching you and Ryan Hall. Yeah, there's a lot of great streamers in the U.S. There's Ryan Hall. There's Max Velocity. There's Evan Freiberger. Check them all out. They all have different perspectives on it, but they're all excellent at tracking storms. I think I might be wrong. It'd be interesting to go take a look and find out. But I have a feeling that in this kind of format, where you're just like watching radar the whole time and checking reports, we might be the earliest ever. It could be argued, though. But I think we've been live streaming since 2015. I don't think Ryan Hall started live streaming until 2018. And I don't think Max Velocity or Evan Freiberger were earlier than that. I think they were after that. I think they were inspired by Ryan. Yeah, so I think as far as like doing this exact format, like this might be the probably the earliest in Canada for sure, but maybe even the earliest in North America. Captain Marco says, don't forget Reed Timmer. Oh, yeah. Oh, if you can watch Reed Timmer as well, too, because he's got his guy on the desk who tracks the storms as well, too, and Reed's usually out there chasing. Reed Timmer is the GOAT. I mean, he's the greatest storm chaser of all time. He's seen more than 1,000 tornadoes. He's the greatest of all time for sure. Actually, Reed is probably the reason that I got into storm spotting in the first place. Because I remember this moment. I've told this story 100 times, but there was a moment where there was a tornado warning for Barrie, which also covered Midland, and Midland got hit by a tornado. And I remember reading like the red ticker at the bottom of the screen a million times, waiting for some new information, which never showed up. And then I remember being like, it's like kind of so frustrated. Like, why isn't there more information? Like, how come? Why is a tornado so isolated, but somehow we have these like county-based warnings? It was very frustrating to me, and I'm sure many have felt that same frustration. But it was just frustrating to me. I was just being like, I wasn't like, why is this frustrating to everyone? I was just like, this is so frustrating to me. There has to be more information. And so I started really studying. And then my wife was like, hey, have you seen that cool show on Discovery Channel called Storm Chasers? And I was like, no. And then I started watching it and I was like, oh my goodness. Like Reed was bullseyeing tornadoes, and we have county-based warnings in Canada. So I'm like, there's got to be more information out there. There has to be something. It's got to be more. How is this guy bullseyeing tornadoes? And yet we have county-based warnings. It just nothing added up to me. So, yeah. So that's why I. Pecos Hank is also one of the GOATs. Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite for sure. He's like I think he's top 5 for me for sure, if not probably arguably the best of all time. Yeah, Pecos Hank is amazing. He's brilliant for sure. I love his videos. His videos are so good. He's a good musician too. He's pretty cool. I'd like to play a song with him one day. That'd be fun. But yeah. Oh, Angel says Ryan Hall is the best. Yeah, Ryan Hall is fantastic. If you want good U.S. storm coverage, Ryan Hall is amazing. And again, Max Velocity is amazing too, and Evan Freiberg are great. We'd love to expand to do more in the U.S. for sure. I don't think it would be me necessarily live streaming in the U.S. because the burnout is real. I've heard some burnout stories from some of the U.S. Streamers that are doing like tornado warnings all day, all night, all day, all night. And they're just like their physical and mental health is draining from doing that, and I can appreciate that. Just sitting and being nonstop in front of the camera all day long. That's it gets to be a bit much. Even just live streaming in Canada can get to be a bit much because I don't know if you remember, there's some times where I'm like, okay, there's a tornado warning in Alberta, and there's a tornado warning in Ontario, and there's a severe thunderstorm warning in Manitoba, and we're like trying to track all of Canada at the same time. If we added the US to that, that would be tricky. But that's why it'd be nice eventually. We'll see how Instant Weather Pro does, and if it's successful and things go well, then maybe we'll get a few on-air Mets to do some U.S. streaming. Would be pretty cool in our same format or something like that. It'd be interesting. So we'll see. We will see. Let's see here. Thanks, Armand. I appreciate it. Thanks, Kevin. Carter says, yo, where's the tornado at? That's a great picture, too. Right now, I don't think there's a tornado in Ontario. Weatherflower says, Adam, you are the Ryan Hall of Canada. And actually, the fact that, just to clarify, the fact that we started live streaming in 2015 and he started in 2018 would actually make it.
I actually looked it up, and Wikipedia says he started in 2021.
Oh yeah, he started even later. That's right. He's at 2 million YouTube followers, and he started only in 2021, which is pretty impressive, by the way. I mean, he's fantastic. But just to clarify, I think Ryan would actually be the Adam Skinner of the U.S. if I started.
They also have 10 times the population. So
10 times the tornadoes. 10 times the tornadoes too. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna say I think Ryan's probably the Adam of the U.S. if I started 6 years before him. Just saying. But anyways, Ryan's fantastic. It's fine. It's all good. I digress. Let's see here. This is an interesting comment and slightly confusing, but I'm going to try to read through it. Adam, to you not say on one if your last live feeds Okay, I'm gonna decode that. Adam, did you not say on one of your last live feeds that we are moving from county-based warning and possible having sirens for tornado watches? Okay. There will never be sirens for tornado watches. There could be some sirens for tornado warnings. I think there's some sirens in like Sarnia that maybe would go off because I know they have them for if there's ever like a chemical spill or something. Or like one of those, you know, if there's ever an emergency like that, I think Sarnia does have sirens. Not everywhere has sirens, and I don't think sirens are going to be coming to everywhere either. So that's probably not happening. But we are switching from county-based warnings to storm-based warnings. Environment Canada is working on that. That will be a huge improvement. Big time. Big time. Pugsy says, can I go to sleep in Barrie? Yeah, I mean, you can go to sleep in Barrie. You can go to sleep. I mean, if you drive somewhere else, you could go to sleep there as well. I'll stop being facetious. Yes, Barrie is fine. Everywhere's fine. You're all good. Everybody's good, except for Kentucky right now and other places in the U.S. Only severe thunderstorm watches in place. We're still waiting for these winds to come in from Lake Erie. They still look strong, but chances are these storms are going to be elevated as they move in, and I wouldn't be surprised if these weaken. But we're still waiting for these. We're still watching. Just watching these strong winds. I mean, some of them are pretty strong, like 100 kilometers an hour. So there is a little tiny bit of a chance near Hemlock, Port Burwell, Port Bruce. There's a little bit of a wind risk. I might do a blue polygon. Maybe if these don't continue to weaken. It was much stronger earlier. And it's kind of strong again right there. There's a tiny little wind risk. There could be some isolated damaging winds from Port Stanley over to Bayham, Port Burwell, Port Rowan, Langton, Aylmer, St. Thomas area, Springfield, Tillsonburg. Right here, there is a little risk of these winds being severe as they move north. They're still pretty strong. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a polygon on that one. I think it's worth a polygon for that particular region just because, yeah, there's a little hint. There's a hint. And there's no severe thunderstorm warning in place right now for Environment Canada. So I just want to give folks there a little bit of a heads up that, let me just see which way. Yeah, I'm going to go from basically Port Stanley-ish, maybe a little bit to the west to St. Thomas, over to Tillsonburg. I'm not going to go as far as Port Dover, I don't think. I'm going to go up to Tillsonburg and then down just near Port Rowan, I think, probably. Yeah, because those are pretty strong winds. And if they do reach the surface, that could be interesting. Or they come in and they're really weak. It's either or. There's a very small chance that these are going to be marginally severe. But I think it's worth sending a notification. Delhi? Let's see. Maybe. They're kind of moving a little bit more to the west. I'm going to bring this back a little bit. I'm not going to include Delhi. I'm just going to include Langton area. Maybe west, just west of Delhi. Okay. That could change, but we'll see. Okay, here's my little updated polygon. I'm just going to go blue and say severe thunderstorm potential. And chances are it's not going to happen, but I'm going to put it down anyways. Let's see here. And it's 9. By the time I'm done this, it'll be 9:53. 1 second. And I'm going to type in the date by hand because I haven't even set things here. So Sunday, May 26th, 2024. Okay, we are carefully monitoring the storm that is located over Lake Erie, moving quickly to the north towards Port Stanley and Port Stanley, Hemlock, Port Rowan, etc. May have the potential to produce strong or damaging wind gusts as it strengthens on radar. Torrential rain, small hail, and frequent lightning are also a possibility. And it is 9:53 as I assumed it would be when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to send it out right now to 4,000 folks in the area. If you are in that area and you're not getting this notification, then you probably don't have our free app. Yes. The wind risk is very low. I'm looking at the data right now. It's very low, but I'm still going to give that heads up just because those winds coming off the water look really strong, and I've seen stranger things happen in weak environments. So, yeah, just that little cluster is the only thing I'm considering at the moment. Anyways, yeah, if you did not get that notification and you are in those particular areas, then you might want to download our free app. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. It's free. Download it. And then when we see things and we send out our own custom notifications like we just did, then you will receive those as well. Yes. Yeah, that's the only area of concern right now. It's just that little itty bitty area over Lake Erie. That's our only area of concern. It looks a lot weaker on US radar. It only looks interesting on Exeter radar. But it's interesting enough that I think I wanted to send that little severe thunderstorm potential polygon. Just some potential. It's probably not going to happen, but there's some potential. But probably not. But maybe, but not. JJC says, will Ottawa get anything bad? Not today. Tomorrow looks interesting. Miriam says, Ottawa okay tomorrow? No, there's a severe risk for Ottawa tomorrow. I mean, it might miss Ottawa. I don't know for sure if it's going to hit Ottawa. Ty says, massive tornado happening currently in Kentucky. Yeah, it's very disturbing. I hope everybody down there is safe. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Let's see here. Noah says, got your notification. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, supposedly Charleston is going to take a direct hit. That's great. That's awful. Oh, boy. That's not great. I hope everybody down there is staying safe. Charleston is going to take a direct hit from a tornado. That's not good at all. Not good at all. Oh, boy. Brianna says, will Windsor get storms tonight or tomorrow? Nah. I think you might get some more rain, maybe a little bit more lightning and thunder, but potentially not. Right now it looks clear, and I'm not seeing anything coming up right now. So still strong winds heading up towards Hemlock right now, 97.92. These are higher up in the atmosphere where the radar is scanning, and if the storms are elevated, then those winds are not going to hit the surface. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with 100 up there, people in Hemlock, Port Burwell, they're probably going to say it got windy. Chances of this not being windy, I would be very surprised. But if 100-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts move right over Port Burwell and Hemlock, and people say it's not even windy at all, then these are very elevated, disconnected from the surface. Based on machine learning, machine learning says this is not going to be severe. So I'm just giving a bit of a heads up, just because these winds are so strong on radar right now that I think it's probably worth letting the folks in Hemlock and folks over here by Port Stanley, just basically this corridor. You can see these really strong winds here from Exeter radar. And Exeter is the closer radar right now, so it's the one to pay attention to. But everybody over here is fine. Deep southwestern Ontario is fine. Everybody in Ontario is good to go right now. The only area of concern is going to be this kind of Hemlock, Clear Creek, Port Burwell area with these strong winds moving in. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, we'll see. They're kind of moving to the northwest a bit. Port Burwell, Vienna, Lakeview, Port Bruce. If you're in those areas, let us know what you experience when those strong winds hit. Let us know what you're experiencing, because it's very possible that you're going to say it's not that windy. Kaylin says it's windy in Vanastra. Where's Vanastra exactly? Is it in this kind of corridor? Let us know. This is the only area of concern right now. Those winds will probably head up towards London, but I don't think they're going to remain strong. When they hit the surface, I would be very surprised if they remain strong. Paula says, wind has picked up in Tecumseh over the last few minutes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Gabby says, I'm in Port Bruce. We'll let you know. Let me know. Chatham tornado watch over. There was never a tornado watch. There was a tornado warning for Lake Erie. It was never for land. It was only for water. I know it's confusing because they didn't put it in the actual warning details. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be if they actually told you where the tornado warning was for? But the system has some work to be done, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Anyways. Yeah, so what was I getting at? What was my? Did I have a point to this? Oh yeah, no. The tornado warning was dropped for Lake Erie. Alan says, Adam, can I follow you on X? Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow Instant Weather Ontario, you can search for Instant Weather Ontario on X. If you want to follow me specifically, mine is Adam Skinner WX at Adam Skinner WX. But if you want to follow Instant Weather Ontario, that's a great place to get all of our information for sure. Laura says, anything for Peterborough? Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. We're going to be live tomorrow in Eastern Ontario for sure. I mean, at least right now. Taylor says, good to go to bed in Simcoe? Probably. I think so. These winds are going that way. I don't think they're going to affect Simcoe. Probably. Yeah, I think you're all right in Simcoe. To the west, I just think it's going to be pretty darn windy to the west. I don't know if it's going to be severe. It could be briefly severe. Briefly. Potentially. Oh, patiently waiting in Elmer. Thank you, Sarah. We'll see. Steve says, do you guys have merchandise? I think we do. What's the link again? Is it Instant Weather? Hold on, let me try to figure it out.
It's in the bottom.
Is it /merch? Oh, is it?
It'll come through. It just loops through.
InstantWeather.com
/merch.
Did you do the forwarding link, Bren, so you can use .ca? And
I
then
tried, but I don't think it was working properly. I tried to do it.
Oh, it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. I see that. Okay, so Instant
But if you just go to our website too, it's in the bar at the top too. I added it.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Yeah, instantweatherinc.com /merch. When you added it to the links at the top of the website, Brendan, did you just link directly to that link? Did you link directly to instantweatherinc.com /merch?
I cannot remember.
Okay, I'll go double check. I'll check. Let's see. If I click merch. Oh, okay, it does. So let's see. If I click a different one. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to go to .ca and see what happens. So .ca. Okay, and if I click merch. No, it goes to .ca /merch. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it has to go to inc.com for it to actually work. Yeah, please do. Please do. And while you're in there, if you can try to get that link to work again, that would be great. But yeah, it's all good. Okay. Stud says, not sure if you want to avoid showing Kentucky. We showed it earlier. I did check on it earlier. Saying, can you tell me if a particular correlation coefficient shows a definite tornado? I mean, if it's right where the couplet is, then probably. But yeah, we have to wait. You can't just say for sure a particular CC drop is a tornado. Emily says flood warning for London. I don't think so, but I can go check maybe from the MRNF. Hold on. Ontario of a flood. Let's see here. What's going on? I don't think so. There is a chance of some flooding. That's for sure. There is a Lake Erie flood watch. No, there's no flood warning for London right now on the MRNF website. So no. But there is a chance. Yeah, there's definitely a chance of flooding. The main risk actually is flooding with these storms. Maybe some gusty winds coming up off of Lake Erie right now, getting real close. Hemlock should be pretty much in it at this point in time. Port Burwell, Vienna, Lakeview. Let me know if those are some strong winds. I would not be surprised. Miranda says, is there a tornado warning in Walsh? Is Walsh in Ontario? Because if that's the case, no. There are no tornado warnings in Ontario at the moment. Oh, Alan said couldn't find the Instant Weather Ontario page. Yeah, if you just search for Instant Weather Ontario, you can find it. It's the actual thing is at iWeatherON. iWeatherON. Madison says, how will Niagara be? Niagara's going to be fine. You're going to be all right. Rachel says, is Allison going to get anything? Yeah, some rain. You might get some rain. You're probably getting rain. If you check our free app right now, you probably see that there is a fairly good chance for rain. Pretty high percentages here. Alina says, I just want to go to sleep. Where are you located? Raining real hard in London, says Danielle. Thank you very much. Carla says mile wide as per Ryan Hall in Charleston. Oh my goodness. Mile wide tornado going through Charleston. That is horrifying. Yeah, Eastern Ontario tomorrow. Whoa. Whoa. Those tracks don't look good. Eastern Ontario tomorrow looks pretty strong, actually, right now. At least at this point in time, it looks pretty strong. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some big-time hail tomorrow in Eastern Ontario, and we might see a tornado or two. So, Eastern Ontario. Rachel says, Charleston, where's that? We're talking about Kentucky right now in the United States. Jordan says, how will Sarnia be? I just want to go to sleep, too. Go to sleep, Sarnia. We have to start doing... We need some new merch, like Go to Sleep Barry. We got to add merch. Just from that other night when I put Barry to sleep. We need to Go to Sleep Barry. We're going to actually... Oh, we got to have a whole bunch of different merch where you have everybody's town name and it just says Go to Sleep. Like Go to Sleep Sarnia. And then it says
With
instant
the
weather.
proper pronunciation.
Like Go to Sleep Sarnia and like little instant weather at the bottom right or something like that. With the proper pronunciation. You can't pronounce a t-shirt.
No, but you can have it written out with the pronunciation.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Miriam says tornado for Eastern Ontario, huh? Yeah, maybe. There's a possibility for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be, it's either going to be big hail or big hail and maybe an Eastern Ontario tornado threat. We'll see. Jay says, is it tomorrow morning or afternoon? I think it's afternoon, right, Brendan? That latest
Yeah, it
round
looks like
nasty.
mid-afternoon, like 2, 3 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, afternoon tomorrow in Eastern Ontario. Looking like go time at this point. We'll see what happens. Go to sleep, Squirrel Depot, says Lex. Yeah, we need we need a whole line of merch for Go to Sleep. Emily says that's a hilarious shirt idea. It's perfect. Ryan says no, it has to be Adam's pronunciation, not the real pronunciation. That's right. That's right. It needs to be my brutal, incorrect pronunciation. Rachel says, OMG, yes, I need a Go to Sleep Alliston with Instant Weather Ontario shirt. We'll work on that. That's funny. Kat says, can you manifest a good electrical storm in Whitby, Adam? Nope. I don't have godly weather controlling powers. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Sud says one about Crunchy KD. Go to sleep. Go to sleep with Crunchy KD. I don't think we have the trademark for that. So I don't know if we're allowed to put Crunchy KD on stuff. So how are the winds there, Port Burwell? If anybody from Port Burwell or Vienna or Hemlock are watching the live stream, Brittany says there was once talk of storm jammies. Do they exist yet? No, we haven't done the storm jammies yet. A bunch of people actually reached out to us and said they'd help us make the storm jammies. I don't know what happened to that whole idea. That whole idea got put on the back burner. Maybe we'll see. But we'd love to do it. We need to do storm jammies for sure. We need storm jammies, and we need Go to Sleep. Go to Sleep with every single possible town name. We'll have to do every single town name. That will take a while.
Sounds like a way to get Landon to quit.
Yeah, Landon's gonna quit if she has to make every single town name. We'll start with the major ones, but someone in here, let me zoom in. Someone in Andy's Corners or someone in Cortland. I don't know what the population of Cortland is here, but there's a few streets. Someone in Cortland, Ontario is going to be like, we want a t-shirt for Cortland. And I'll be like, oh, okay, fine. And then we'll make them a t-shirt. It'd be funny. Rob's telling us to check out the size of the tornado in Kentucky. I don't even want to go look at it. It's terrifying. Let's just keep things relatively peaceful over here. Our thoughts are with those in Kentucky right now. Oh, Brennan, you got an appointment tomorrow afternoon? Wah, wah, wah. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
That means severe weather is a guarantee, right? Let's see here.
Yeah, because the last time I got
you were
my
getting your hair done?
cut, Yeah, and the Barry tornado happened.
Mm,
So I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow.
that's my dad's birthday too. Like, happy birthday, Dad. Get to the basement. Let's see here. Miriam says my anxiety is going through the roof for tomorrow. Miriam, we don't know exactly where it's going to hit, and we don't know for sure if a tornado will drop. We just know there is a risk for tomorrow. So join us on the live stream tomorrow. It's all good. It's all good. Haley says, can we get an answer for St. Thomas? I'm watching for St. Thomas right now. I mean, there's still 96.48 kilometer an hour winds that are heading up towards right now Lakeview, Fairview, Lutton, Candyville. And again, those are probably elevated, so chances of those actually reaching the surface are relatively low, but that's why I did my little blue polygon. And St. Thomas looks more boring at this point in time. You might see this little cluster, which could bring some strong winds heading towards Port Stanley. St. Thomas might see some gusty wind, but I don't know if it's going to be that strong. The only area that really looks strong to me right now is this right here, heading up towards Lakeview. These really bright velocities here, 96, 92 kilometers an hour. Those are the only ones. Jay says to my dad, "Happy basement to you," because it was his birthday. July 15th was his birthday, and
Some of those severe thunderstorm watches haven't ended. I'm not sure if it's all of
I
them.
just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that. It'd be interesting if all of them.
Oh, the St. Thomas one and Simcoe area are still under
They
the
left
severe
those because of the
thunderstorm
strong
watch.
winds. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay. Haley says, so can St. Thomas go to bed yet? Not yet. Oh, Lutton is actually Luton, says Aureen. Luton, not Lutton. Aha. Go to sleep, Leamington. Yes, Leamington, go to sleep. Yeah, hold on, St. Thomas. Just wait. Chances are this is not going to be severe. But Brantford says, Matthew, you're fine. Go to bed. Dante the Shadow says, so my birthday is tomorrow. Any chance for good news on Strathroy? I don't think Southwestern Ontario has that much of a risk. Maybe a marginal risk for Southwestern Ontario, but Eastern Ontario is looking pretty grumpy for tomorrow. Pretty grumpy. Close says, can London go to sleep? Maybe hold up a little bit, but probably soon. This is the only storm, and it's kind of heading towards London. But I think it's probably going to weaken as it comes onto shore. We'll wait for this next radar update to see what's up. But yeah, tomorrow. Oh boy, Kingston area tomorrow. Oh boy. Yeah, Kingston for tomorrow.
I'll have to look at other models, but Kingston might even get a strong risk. I'm considering it based on how the HUR looks. Yeah, but we'll have to see what the other one shows.
Yeah, we'll see what the models look like. But Brendan, are you going to do a map tonight? Do you want to maybe do a slight map tonight, and then we can upgrade to strong tomorrow if things remain strong?
I'll see. I might do something quick to post, but the full article will be tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get a little bit of a heads up tonight, if possible, if you've got the energy to. I know you're a Nighthawk like me, so. Emily says, you know when the storm will start tomorrow in Barrie Angus? I don't know is Barrie and Angus getting a storm tomorrow?
There will be a lot of rain and maybe some thunderstorms early in the morning for like almost everyone, like the GTA, Barrie, Angus. Yeah, like a lot of rain like early in the morning and like afternoonish. I don't think it's going to be severe though.
Yeah, there might be a low risk for Barrie area.
Maybe.
I saw a little bit. There could be some hail. Yeah, that too. I saw some hail tracks, I think.
Oh, yeah, flooding could really be an issue tomorrow because I just looked at the latest HUR model. It has like a track of like 75 millimeters going right for the GTA.
Does that include this? Does that include this though? It's
Let me
total
double check.
accumulated, right?
It's
So it probably
mostly,
would.
eh, it's about, this is about 20 millimeters, the other is about 50 millimeters. That comes in a few hours,
Oh, okay. Brit
tomorrow,
says,
or late morning.
is it even a tornado or just a storm for tomorrow or right now? Because if it's right now, this is just a storm. There's no tornado, from what we can tell. Nothing in the data is suggesting that this is a tornado. Rebecca says, Langton, go to sleep. I think you're right in like the area I was talking about the most. Or I was thinking of Luton. Where is Langton? Wasn't it over here? Oh yeah, Langton's over here. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There's this. I would hang out for a little bit there, Langton. Just for a little bit. Matthew says, is Ottawa on the path to? Tomorrow afternoon, Ottawa might see severe thunderstorms. We'll see. Kat says, my friend is a storm chaser in the U.S., Hank Pecos. Pecos Hank is your friend? Can you ask him to do a duet with me? I'd love to play a song with him. He's awesome. Pecos Hank is the king. He's great. I think Reed's the GOAT, but I think Pecos is arguably like top 3 chasers of all time. He's amazing. His videos are so good too. They're on another level. Like Reed's videos are like really scientific, and he's like talking about the low level jet, and he's like he goes through a lot of technical stuff. Whereas Pecos is like talking about the art, like the art of storm chasing is interesting. Matthew says, can you play the radar so we can see what to expect? Yeah, there you go. I'll back it up a bit so you can see a bunch of different areas here. On the right, we have wind, and on the left, we have rain. But it's this wind right here that's tracking up towards London eventually. Looks like it might be weakening. It's good, but this is the only area of concern we're concerned with right now. The only area of concern. I mean, there's flooding risk for tonight as well, too. Isolated flooding risk for areas that see, rain over and over and over and over again. Kat says he's amazing. No, Pecos Hank is the best. He's amazing. Ryan says, IW is the best. You guys do such a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Debbie says, so far, lots of rain in Port Stanley. Any wind? Is it windy at all? Let us know. Can Lakeshore go to sleep, says Garrett. Okay. How is the wind in Lakeshore? Lakeshore is right here, isn't it? Where'd it go? Oh, wait. Sorry, that's Lakeview. My bad. Where's Lakeshore again? Is that Essex County? Joel says we got intense over here in Tillsonburg. Some pea-sized hail as well. Samantha says, how bad will the wind get in London if it doesn't calm down? I think it's probably elevated, but you might see briefly severe wind gusts, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be elevated off the surface. Every piece of data I have says it's not going to be severe. But when it's this strong on radar, even though stuff says it's not going to be severe, I still felt it was a good idea to send that polygon. Arm Prior, tomorrow you might see severe thunderstorms. Tonight you're fine. Lakeshore is near Windsor. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fine. Go to bed. Go to bed, Windsor. Put that on a t-shirt. Samantha says, thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Brampton, you're going to see a lot of rain tonight. Maybe some thunderstorms. Likely non-severe. How about Aylmer? Genesis, how's Ingersoll looking tonight? Probably non-severe. The only area of concern we have right now is this kind of Port Bruce, Port Burwell area. Looks like strong winds are heading over towards maybe St. Thomas, but chances are they're elevated, which means they're probably higher up off the surface and therefore not actually affecting the surface like they would on a normal, strong, severe weather day. Nadia says, Barry's fine. Go to bed, Barry. Now I'm just putting towns to bed. Cities and towns to bed. That's become my new job. I was like, call me the Sandman here. And then it says, what about Owen Sound and Collingwood? You're good to go. The only area of concern is way down here by Lake Erie, and it's barely an area of concern. I think it's probably gonna wash out and be a whole lot of boring. We'll see. It's just these strong winds right here are the only ones left on radar, and I think as they move into the area, they're probably gonna weaken. We'll see. Barton says, "Did you say Glencoe can go to bed?" I don't think so. I don't think I said that. I'm not sure exactly where you are. I think you're down here somewhere. Aren't you down here somewhere? Glencoe? Let me search for it. Hold on. Everybody wants to know if they can go to bed. Glen. Was it again? COE? Glencoe, Ontario? Oh, down here? Yeah, you're fine. You're good. Go to bed. Let's see here. Haley says it's pouring in St. Thomas. I'm sure it's coming. Yeah, but the question is, will the winds be strong? That's the question. Tuck solid. Dante says I'm not the Sandman. I'm not a wrestler. I didn't mean it in that way. Yeah, these are still some strong winds over Lake Erie. I don't think they're going to be that strong. I'm still waiting to see any reports from that area. Okay, 1 second here. Kevin says, Adam, thanks so much to the team for keeping us informed. Just an idea for the go to bed merch. Just have it say the sentence, and we as customer can put the city name when we order. Yeah, I don't know. We use Printful. I don't know if you can do that for Printful, but that's interesting. That could be interesting. We should just do go to bed and then a blank white strip, and you can just write your city name in. Or I'll write it in. No, you don't. My handwriting's terrible. You don't want me to do it, but. And Joel says tornadoes are highly possible for tomorrow. They're possible. Well, highly, but they're possible. We might go to a strong risk, Brennan said. It looks interesting. Eastern Ontario tomorrow looks interesting. Leighton says, how's Glencoe looking? I just looked into Glencoe and it looked fine. What should we do? Go to bed. Tiffany said the lightning is so loud in Ingersoll that our animals that never get scared got scared. Rachel says, Adam, we also need a t-shirt that just says sending towns to bed, and no one would understand it except the instant weather stands. The instant weather stands. Instant weather stands. Yes, let's see here. How about London, says Debbie? Yeah, we're watching closely. Oh boy, Patrick says, I know Minden won't see anything tonight. Anything coming our way for tomorrow? And or Dwight outside of Huntsville. Last storm drive home, house got struck by lightning and rushed over not even 5 minutes after it was struck. Sadly, the house was a complete loss by morning. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, Patrick. That's brutal. Yeah, lightning is always severe. Even when the storms aren't, lightning is still horrifyingly severe. So that's awful. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's brutal. That sucks. Oh, Penny says, I second that t-shirt idea. Just go to bed. It just says go to bed, and then it says instant weather below it or something. Rachel says, Adam's got to sing for us if we're going to go to bed. I might sing. Let's see here. Kat says that's why you need to put a lightning rod on your roof. I mean, it would help if you had a big lightning rod that's way like one of those kind of like TV antenna towers. It's kind of like a lightning rod. or maybe just a legit lightning rod, and then it's properly grounded. That could be an interesting safety feature. It's interesting. I wonder how effective that is. Probably helps. I think that's where the lightning would go to, would be the tallest thing, right? That would be interesting. Let's see here. What songs do I play? Do I know songs? Is it almost time for a song? If you are in Elmer, please let us know what you're experiencing. How are the winds? I'm trying to figure out how the winds are. No one has told me. How strong are the winds in Port Stanley, Port Bruce, Aylmer, Port Burwell? Let us know what the winds are like in that area. Like I suggested before, it looks like the winds are weakening as they're moving on shore. So we'll see. Aaron says, "Can Aylmer go to bed? What are the winds like? Please tell me." Not much wind, says Alicia. And then Jill says, "Elmer's very windy. The wind is crazy in Clinton," says Jillian. Where's Clinton? Is it down here somewhere? I don't know where Clinton is. Hello, Clinton. I'm just looking for the winds in these particular areas. Not everywhere. I don't want to know the winds are everywhere. I mean, I appreciate your reports, but I'm really just looking for those. Joel says, "Reed Timmer is my friend. I know him personally." Oh, cool. That's awesome. Reed is the GOAT, man. Reed's awesome. I've had a few chats with him. He's a super awesome dude. And Kat says, "Winds really 80 mile per hour? Kilometer per hour. This is kilometer per hour here. There's 95 over the lake, but that's higher up in the air. Kitchener gonna get hit bad? No. You might see some storms overnight. That's it. Gabriel says, "Hi, I have a question. I'm making a documentary for my YouTube channel about past weather events in Quebec. Can I use radar imagery from Instant Weather Pro archives as long as I include the Instant Weather logo?" Yeah, sure. All good. And let us link us when you're done that. We'd love to see it. You can post it on our Quebec page as well too. Britt says, "Fleetwood Mac Dreams is my request. I'd rather have my wife sing it. She's amazing. She can sing Dreams amazing. Amazing. Actually, if you want to see my wife sing, head over to, if you're on Facebook, Amanda Adam Music is we created a little Facebook page when COVID hit, and we started doing live streams, which was a lot of fun. And I guarantee we played Dreams at one point. Might have been the first live stream we did. Aaron says, "What am I missing? I'm in St. Thomas and it's just raining." So just rain? No, there's no wind. These winds, they're strong up high, but probably elevated. And the overall chance for severe weather here is low, very low. Still a severe thunderstorm watch from Environment Canada. We've got a little polygon for severe thunderstorm potential, but we'll see. Leighton is still asking about Glencoe. Yeah, you're good to go. I think I already said go to bed to Glencoe like 4 times. Caitlin says, "Can Simcoe Delhi go night-night?" Yeah, you're fine. Let's see. I think you're okay. Chris says, "Good night, everyone." Some wind, says Linda in St. Thomas. Is London clear? London's going to get a storm. Will it be severe? Chances are slim. Very, very slim. Pretty much no. There could be some flooding risk, though. That's the only thing really left, is there could be some flooding risk. A bit of a breeze in Aylmer. Okay, perfect. This is where some of the strongest winds on radar are, and a bit of a breeze is what we're hearing. So, yeah, these storms are not going to be severe. I think I'm going to get rid of that polygon real quick. I'll hold on to it for a little bit, but I'm going to scrap that polygon. Okay, sounds like it's time for a song. Can Ingersoll go to bed? Probably. I think you're fine. Dustin says St. Thomas just picked up quite a bit, lots of wind and rain. Thank you for the report. Appreciate it. Seth Manka says, "Do you believe there'll be enough clearing in southern Ontario for any severe storms?" maybe. I think there's maybe a marginal risk in southwestern Ontario. I think there's a slight to strong risk in eastern Ontario for severe thunderstorms. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, what can I play? Do I have a guitar pick? Hold on. Let me see. Guitar pick. Ooh, I do have a guitar pick. How about that? All right. Brennan put on the bottom of the screen, unless you are in the St. Thomas area, go to bed. What if they don't want to go to bed? Courtney says play Blackbird. I think I have. I think I've been banished from playing covers now. We talked about this though. We should do this. Would be fun. Is like to do a live stream after the live stream. So like to stop our live stream, but then to start it up again on YouTube and then play some covers. I think we might do that at some point in time. But I think probably play more original songs. I didn't realize that I was going to be asked to play more original songs instead of less. So that's good. I've been writing some new songs too, so I'm working on it. I should write a song called Go to Bed. Actually, I do have a song called Going Back to Bed. Maybe I'll play that. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, let's see here. A song called Go to Bed. I do have the song called Going Back to Bed. Oh, this is funny. The Patch Invest said you should cover the old Weather Network local forecast songs. You know, it's so funny. The person who did all the weather, the person who created the Weather Network music actually reached out to us and said, do you need any weather for your live streams and stuff? Which is pretty cool. I was like, oh, cool. Jap says, is Niagara okay? You're fine. You're good. For Peterborough, yeah, you might see some storms, severe thunderstorms tomorrow as possible. Kayla says Kentucky got hit really bad tonight. Yeah, it's really bad. It's brutal. It is pretty brutal. Yeah. Again, if you're not in the St. Thomas area, the only area we're watching now. Anybody else is fine in Ontario. Kat says, I got Adam in the Insta weather man. Yeah, just a flood risk probably for tonight. I think the winds are probably dialing down. I think it's mainly just probably a flood risk, so. Some lightning too. Excuse me. All right. So if you want to hear a song, I think I can probably do that for you. Maybe I'll play my Going Back to Bed song because it seems to be apropos. All right, let me turn off my AC, even though it feels kind of nice. It's pretty warm in here. Meg says, I'm not getting notifications that you're live anymore. I think we only notified like deep southwestern Ontario because that was the only area.
Yeah, I only notified up to like London in the area.
Yeah, I think that was about it. Yep. Lori says, looks like I tuned in just in time. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Weatherflower, what's up? Weatherflower still asking me to play the old Weather Network songs. I don't know them. Like, I never learned them. So I think that's probably going to...
Wasn't there like many of them? I remember them like switching between seasons. Like they had new ones like every season. So I think there's like a whole collection of them.
That'd be funny to learn those. No, I don't know those. Yeah, I'm just going to probably play an original. If I can warm up my voice here, hold on. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to play a song called Going Back to Bed, which seems to be appropriate for this particular time. Let's see here. I'm going to go to my settings, turn off my reduce mic background noise, and That should be pretty good, I think. I think that should be good. Let's see here. Okay, so let me get rid of this headphone first. Hold on. All right, this is called Going Back to Bed. Red Pool says, what if I don't want to go to bed? You don't have to. A lot of people are asking us, though, if they can go to bed. Oh, before I go, Brennan, do you want to maybe bring that up on the live stream? And maybe not while I'm playing the song, but right after we'll talk about it. If you hang out to the end of this song, then we'll show you the forecast map for tomorrow, because Brendan
found a way to keep
sneak
people.
peek of it. I can't hear you, by the way, so hold on. Sorry. Did you say anything?
You found a way to keep people on the stream.
I found a way to keep you on the stream. If you want to see what looks like Brennan, I see some orange, so Brennan's gone strong risk for Eastern Ontario tomorrow. At least at this point in time. We'll see if the models hold up, but if you want to see the thunderstorm forecast for tomorrow, stick around to the end of this original song you've never heard before. That's one way to get him to stay. All right. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to play the song, then we're going to show the forecast map for tomorrow, and then we're probably going to shut down the stream. But yeah, it looks like some flood risk for tonight, so we'll see. All right, I'm playing Going Back to Bed. Here we go. Wake me up early, sun is shining bright in my eye. Feel like a vampire, I'm always up at night. You think I'm an insomniac, you think I never sleep. I'm not so sure about that, but I know this is me. Going back to bed, count me out. You heard what I said, and was there any doubt? Going back to bed, count me out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks again for joining us on the live stream. Appreciate it. Wake me up slowly. There's still sand in my eye. I feel like a vampire. Oh, at least I tried. I'm going back to bed. Count me out. Heard what I said, and was there any doubt? Going back to bed, count me out. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's easy to roll, easy to hide. It ain't easy getting up in the middle of my night. Easy to roll, easy to hide. It ain't easy getting up at night. It's easy to roll, easy to hide. It ain't easy getting up in the middle of my night. Easy to roll, and it's easy to hide. It ain't easy getting up at night. There's a little original song called "Going Back to Bed." Nadine says, "Wow, winds are really wild in Port Credit off of the lake." Interesting. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Oof. Nothing like going from like not singing for days and then just ripping that. The muscle memory kicks in. I think I remember how to sing. There we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly, everyone. Thank you, Silver. Thank you, Red Pool. Thank you very much, Jennifer, Tammy, Largle. Thank you kindly. Thunder near Woodstock, says Alexander. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, EDC. Very kind of you. Yeah, there's still gonna be some strong winds just right off the edge of the lake, but they should continue to weaken as they move to the north. So we'll see. Brennan, I think it's that time. We did promise everyone a sneak peek for tomorrow's forecast, which looks pretty grumpy. Oh boy. Okay, so if you're in Ottawa, Cornwall, Smith Falls, Brockville, Kingston, and down towards, but east of Picton, you are in level 3, which is a strong risk for severe thunderstorms. This is for tomorrow, folks. This is for Monday, May 27th, 2024. Could see 1 or 2 tornadoes. Could see wind gusts at 115 kilometer an hour plus. Could see 4 to 6 centimeter hail at the upper end. And flooding is a risk for tomorrow. 75 to 100 millimeters for isolated areas. So yeah, this is tomorrow looking pretty darn strong at this point. And then we have a level 2, which is a slight risk for severe thunderstorms. So Pembroke, Renfrew, Tweed, Belleville, and Picton. Yeah, those areas are in the level 2, which is a slight risk for severe thunderstorms. Basically, the yellow and the orange areas are where we're expecting to see some pretty strong severe weather for tomorrow. And then level 1 for a big swath of the area. I'm just going to run through the names really quickly because it's interesting to do so. Brendan, are you getting some models ready in the background? That's kind of cool. All right, I'll run through these names, and then maybe if you want to bring up a model run, that'd be interesting. So from basically Chatham, Sarnia, St. Thomas, London, Grand Bend, Woodstock, Kitchener, Hamilton, Brantford, Tillsonburg, Niagara Falls, Mississauga, Guelph, Orangeville, Barrie, Newmarket, Toronto, Oshawa, Peterborough, Orillia, Bracebridge, Algonquin Park, Deep River, Bancroft. Those areas are in a marginal level 1 severe risk for tomorrow, which is a low-end risk. Chances there's going to be maybe a few little pop-up isolated severe storms for tomorrow in those areas. The main area of concern is going to be to the east. So again, from like Tweed, Belleville, Smith Falls, Renfrew, Pembroke. Basically, areas east of Peterborough is from what I could tell from earlier. So east of Peterborough, the storms are going to build, they're going to strengthen, and they're going to continue to strengthen as they move into eastern Ontario. But kind of Kingston up to Ottawa, Cornwall, and Brockville, those areas look pretty grumpy for tomorrow. We could see a couple of tornadoes. We could see some big-time hail. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But there we go. Tomorrow, looking pretty grumpy for eastern Ontario. Yeah, it's gonna be a day. We're gonna be live streaming for sure. So Vanessa says, I'm in level 3. I hope no storms when I'm out with my bicycle to and from work. Will keep phone charged. Yes, do please stay safe. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of afternoon area. I think Brendan said somewhere around kind of like 1-2 o'clock. The storms are gonna start popping, and then they'll continue to move and strengthen as they move into eastern Ontario. Probably into the 3, 4, 5 o'clock area. So, yeah, the afternoon looks pretty interesting. Hey, I'm back. Brendan, did you want... Hey, there we go. So Brendan's got a map of eastern Ontario here. The problem here, it doesn't really show what the city names are. But if you know eastern Ontario, you might know this area. The very bottom of the map where you see that kind of like purple thunderstorm there, that is going to be about the Kingston area-ish, around Kingston. Where you see that storm kind of in the middle of the map, that's kind of the Ottawa area here. Yeah, there's a better representation. So you can't see the city names here, but you can kind of see what we're talking about. So, yeah, so if you know geography, this is going to be good. If you don't, then it's going to be kind of painful because there's no city names. But Brendan can work on an overlay for that. And this is model data from Weatherbell here. So what timing is this, Brendan? Brendan,
It's on there. It's
What's
on the lower right-hand side. There's a time. That's Eastern time. So this is noon.
Oh, I see it there. Oh, I see what you did. You did another overlay. Okay, cool, cool. All right, so that's noon. So keep going.
That's
So
1, 2. So this
2.
is entering like Kingston area down there.
Yeah, that big storm
And then
center in
there's some
Kingston.
cells ahead of it too that are going for the Ottawa region at 2 o'clock.
That's right.
And
yeah.
then we'll continue to
2,
3 o'clock.
3.
And it
Yeah.
just goes for Kingston, more cells up to the east of Ottawa through like
Orleans and east of there.
Yeah, that
yeah.
area.
And then
Rockland.
it looks like getting into going towards Brockville now.
Brockville.
That looks almost.
at
It's
4
almost
o'clock.
trying to resolve a bookend vortex there. It's actually looking like a pretty grumpy line of
Yeah.
storms. Yeah. And so
And
4
it
o'clock, 5
continues.
o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then it moves into Quebec. Yeah.
It should
Yeah,
be
interesting.
down around Sitfish.
Yeah, so this is one particular model run, folks. So we look at a whole bunch of different ones when we're making these forecast
I can
maps, but
bring
this
up-
is I think that this is this NAM or is this the her?
NAM.
Oh, that was
this
NAM?
one's
Okay.
the NAM.
Yeah, that was the NAM.
So
Okay.
it's looking a little weaker on the NAM, but that's normal. Doesn't resolve like the stronger storms on the NAM. This is
Sometimes
1
it doesn't,
o'clock.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still 3-kilometer
Still
data,
showing.
just like the her. Yeah,
It's
so it
still
looks a little-
showing like around Kingston at like 1 or 2 p.m.
Yeah, the timing's pretty.
So it's pretty good
close.
agreement on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some storms in other places as well too. Looks like storms.
And then
Around
the
Georgian Bay as
NAM
well.
has more cells popping
Yeah, through like
behind the
Midland
main
and
line.
stuff. Yeah,
And
yeah,
if
yeah.
we take a look at the significant Tornado parameter, quite strong in Eastern Ontario.
Yeah, it's really strong. Whoa, that red around Ottawa. Holy, that's really
I
strong.
think there are storms in that area. Yeah, there is. At 3
Yeah.
o'clock.
Oof, that's not great. So, okay, so tornado risk for tomorrow. Big time hail risk as well. Damaging wind risk for sure. Yeah, we're going to have to see how that goes with tomorrow in Eastern Ontario. Jay says, what's the tornado potentials for Rockland? That's when school gets out. Should we be keeping the kids home? I mean, the keeping the kids home thing, we're going to leave that up to you. We're not going to tell you what to do with your children. That is definitely in your hands. But we're going to tell you that, tomorrow afternoon there is definitely pretty strong severe risk.
Yeah, it looks to
in
be
that
at
area.
around like 1 to 4 p.m., the main risk time in Eastern Ontario.
Yeah. So
Although
Rockland
that
will be
may
in the
vary
core.
depending on like when the storms form and that.
Sure. Yeah. There can be some variables there. But yeah, Eastern Ontario tomorrow looks pretty strong. Yeah. So that's not great. So yeah. Stay safe, folks. We're going to be live streaming tomorrow. We'll give you even more information tomorrow. We'll track the storms in real time. We'll see what is up with that. I'm going to get rid of this polygon now because I don't hear anybody complaining about these wind gusts near Aylmer. I forget how to pronounce it, but yeah, it looks like things are weakening as they move onto the surface. Looks like we're down to just this tiny little severe thunderstorm watch here, just for those particular areas, just for St. Thomas and for kind of the Simcoe areas. I don't think there's going to be severe wind gusts with these. I think they're probably elevated. Again, there's no cape in the area. There's literally no environment. So I was surprised we even went live tonight. I was surprised there was even a tornado warning over Lake Erie. But stranger things have happened, so we got to be on our toes when those things happen. We got to try our best to jump on the live stream. We can't always do that, but we try our best to do it when we can. So that makes sense. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you kindly to all those who have downloaded our free app. If you have not downloaded our free app, you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. Thank you to those who have subscribed to Instant Weather Pro, which is the Pro Radar suite that we built for the Northern Tornadoes Project out of Western University, and now we've offered it as offered it last year, May 31st, as a beta test. And we will be putting a whole bunch of new features into it in the next couple weeks. Actually, is really exciting. So. Huge thank you to all those who have subscribed to Instant Weather Pro. If you'd like to subscribe to that, it's like $99 for the year. It's $8.25 a month ish if you break it down. What is 99 divided by 12 basically. But yeah, you can go to instantweatherpro.com to subscribe to that. A huge thank you to Teresa. She will be sending out the instructions to those who subscribe. So please be patient with her as she sends those out. And then you can follow along on Instant Weather Pro just like we do. So instead of yelling at me to Adam, move the radar or animate the radar or can you move it over to my area, you can do it yourself as well and follow along with us. So, and we want to do more training on that as well too. We want to do I basically talk about radar the whole time we're live, but we'd like to maybe do some training videos and stuff to help folks understand exactly what they're looking at on radar, so they can follow along and keep a good close eye on your particular location is always a good idea. And there's a lot of folks in the comments, that come into our comments and say, hey, I see rotation over by blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, and I check it. And, so they're following along with Instant Weather Pro, which is helpful to have more eyes on radar than less. So a huge thank you to those who have subscribed to Instant Weather Pro. Those who sent in stars today, we sincerely appreciate you. Those who sent in super chats on YouTube, thank you so much. And just those who, tell folks about our community is a huge help. So if you can't subscribe or all that kind of stuff, it's totally cool. But if you can, let your friends and family know that Instant Weather is live streaming during these events, and we've got a free app and all of that fun stuff, we sincerely appreciate you helping us get the word out about Instant Weather and about tornadoes and severe weather ultimately, right? So thank you so much, everyone. Sincerely appreciate it. Debbie says, pray for Kentucky. Our thoughts are with those in Kentucky tonight, those who are in the path of violent tornadoes in the U.S. right now. It is absolutely brutal down there. So, but yeah, I think everybody's wondering if they can go to bed. I think pretty much everybody can go to bed. There could be some flooding tonight. There's going to be some lightning that's going to keep you up. But I think going to bed is. I think we're going back to bed. Count me out. Anyway, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you to the whole team for all your help. And everybody have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.